It's good to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too, man.
Thank you for coming and doing this. Like I was saying when you were walking in here, dude, I watched your short. The trailer you sent me was great. I don't know how much you could talk about that, but that was a great little teaser.
Thanks.
I think it accomplished everything a teaser trailer should.
That's good to hear.
Well, it looks great. I was interested, and I want to see more. So that was great.
That was my goal when I cut it. So that's really good to hear. Thank you for checking it out.
And your short film, Pollo Locos or Loco Pollo?
Pollo Loco. Just not El Pollo Loco. You know, no copyright infringement.
Yeah, but, that's a great short film, dude. And before we actually get into the conversation, thank you for this.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for the G Fuel. Sponsor me eventually when I get much bigger. Oh, that's fucking sick. Oh, like little powders and shit.
Yeah, I threw a bunch of packets in there.
Oh, fuck yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So is this, I've never actually had G Fuel before. Is this, is it an energy drink?
It's an energy drink, yeah.
Okay.
Not a pre-workout. Some people think it's a pre-workout.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what it was, but I know a lot of gamers use it to power through when they get the review copies and shit.
Yeah, it's 140 milligrams of caffeine and vitamins and stuff. They actually just dropped a new formula. I don't have any packets of that yet, but it's really smooth now. There's a lot less chalkiness and stuff. They got rid of the fillers.
Fuck.
But yeah, I've been working with them for 4 years now. I've been sponsored for about 3.
Nice.
But had a code for about 4. I started out as a streamer when I got out of the military, so I was streaming, full time for.
Happy Veterans Day.
Yeah, you too.
By the way, do you know how to respond to that when people tell you that?
I always just say it was my pleasure to serve. What else are you supposed to say?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, because I talk about it a little bit on stage when I'm doing stand up and stuff, but I don't know because I don't regret serving. But
I would hope not.
Yeah. I don't regret serving, but I'm just I'm not big on talking about it.
Well, you said you were National Guard, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like a part-time gig.
Yeah,
right?
It was part-time. Yeah. It was part-time 6 years. We did go on a deployment, but not a whole lot happened. And
where'd you get deployed?
Djibouti, Africa.
Wow, that's an interesting place to get deployed.
Fucking sucked. But
how long were you there?
I was there. I had some medical stuff come up, so I ended up coming home a bit early. But I was there. We left in November, and I came back in March.
Okay.
Yeah, and came right back before all the madness happened, before all the COVID stuff.
Yeah, I got out in 2020. I was supposed to. So it's kind of a weird situation. I was in the Coast Guard. I was doing aviation. I did helicopter search and rescue.
Oh, okay. See, that's a cool fucking job.
Yeah, it was pretty badass, but I paid for it with my knees because I only with my full gear, I was $160. And so I'm bringing in people that weigh 250 and they're in the basket, and I'm just sliding all over the place in these knee pads they issued us, so I just couldn't use them.
Yeah, what was your body weight when you were doing all that?
Like I said, with gear, I was 160, and it was about 25, 30 pounds of gear with the vest and stuff. So, yeah, I usually sat around 125, but...
Damn.
Yeah, I'm 145 now. I definitely put on more muscle and stuff. You're a big gym guy too, right?
Yeah, not lately. I've been a lazy piece of shit, but I was. Gotcha. I was, and just because comedy's just getting in the way, and me just being lazy. But then I also work from home now, so I'm I have no excuse not to be going to the gym. I've just been lazy as fuck. But,
yeah, I took a year off of the gym because I felt like I was the symmetry of everything was off. I was overworking my chest and my back too much. So now I think everything's more, I guess, even is the way to put it. But yeah, no, I really missed working out. It was hard to not work out for a while, and muscle is, unless you're really trying to lose weight, it actually takes a while to go away,
Yeah.
So
atrophy takes a lot longer than people think it does. What made you choose search and rescue?
So my stepdad was in the Coast Guard. He was a machinery tech, so he was a boat mechanic, but did boarding team stuff where they show us your life jackets, stuff like that. But
Improvised Intelligence is sponsored by the amazing people over at Chopped Chili. If you've been a long time listener to the podcast, you know that this is my favorite brand of chili here in New Mexico. Pretty much put it on every meal that I can. They've got red chili, green chili. My personal favorite is this blend of the red and the green. I think this stuff is phenomenal. They also have frozen bags of green chili that you can order directly from their website at chopchilico.com. You can also find them in stores around the state of New Mexico at Sprouts, Albertsons, Farmers Country Market, John Brooks, Keller's Farm Store, Lowe's Market. You can also find them in Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Hobbs, Gallup, Tucumcari, and for all my friends in Texas, they are in El Paso. Again, chopchilico.com. Go get yourself some amazing chili. Now back to the podcast.
He showed me the movie The Guardian, which I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, that looks cool. I want to go do aviation. It sounds cooler than, taking lives, I guess, saving people, right? Sleep better at night. And so, of course, I wanted to be a rescue swimmer. That's what everybody wanted to do when they saw that movie. But I was stationed in Port Angeles, Washington, which is like right next to it's like across from British Columbia. I went to the air station, was there, and I was swimming with the swimmers and stuff. And they're like, look, dude, you're a good swimmer, but it's just your size, like the instructors are really going to pick on you and try to get you to fail because they don't want you to go out there and not be able to save people,
Right.
And so I'm like, well, what should I do? And they're like, you should go be a flight mechanic. You'll still get to do the job. You just, you won't be the guy jumping in the water. Excuse me. And so I was like, okay. And I went and checked out and saw what those guys did. And they were just a bunch of rednecks, just chilling, spit and dip and stuff. And I'm like, well, how is this? Is it a good gig? I want to do search and rescue. And they're like, yeah, you're probably going to fly more than they do because they're always getting injured and stuff. And I'm like, okay. So I went to North Carolina for 6 months, did the technical school, and then I spent 4 years in San Francisco, and they closed the air station in LA. And so our air station got tasked with kind of filling in the gap while they built a new air station, which they're still doing right now, actually. So from 2016 to 2020, I was
still building.
Yeah, because they're building it on a Navy base, so they have to deal with the Navy, and all their permits and stuff. But for 4 years, I was essentially spending half my time in LA, and I was doing 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu over there, and
nice.
Telling all the guys there, I don't know if I want to do this as a career. I joined to go to film school. So, here I am in LA, should I get out? Is it safe out here? And they're like, go for it, man. I mean, we're running a jiu-jitsu gym. That was a gamble, we pulled it off. So, I got out. I actually had gotten to shadow the sound guy over on the Fox studio lot. They were working on this Randall Park show, fresh off the boat. It was this Asian family in the 90s. Yeah. And so that was really cool. I was there for 1 day, and I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to do. So I talked to the first AD, and it turned out he was prior Navy. So he said, yeah, when you get out, come work for me. I'm like, there's my in on a union set, So I get out in April of 2020. I got a month and a half of terminal leave saved up, and COVID was hitting. So I'm sitting there, there's nothing going on. And I started streaming and doing content in the meantime, and that was taking off. I got to the point where I was averaging 800 viewers, I had 800 people active at one time, I did this charity stream, got on the front page. I had 10,000 people watching at one time.
Good shit.
Yeah, it was very rewarding, but I burned myself out really quick, and it wasn't necessarily something I ever thought I was going to do full time.
Yeah.
But I saw how much it was dependent on content creation.
So what were you doing on stream? Because that's such a broad...
Gaming, I was playing Warzone. Warzone was really big at that time. Bouncing between that and Fortnite and Dead by Daylight, just kind of whatever, people wanted to play. I would let them vote, what do we play next stream, And I was streaming for 4 to 6 hours at a time, and then spending another 6 to 8 hours making content. I was posting 10 times a day. And just burned myself out really quick doing that. And I don't know, gaming kind of got stale for me after doing that,
Well, I feel
work.
Because I'm assuming you enjoyed gaming before you started doing all that.
Oh, yeah.
So I just feel like anything that you enjoy, when you try to, at least sometimes, when you try to turn it into a monetary source, it can start getting tedious and tired because it becomes work rather than pleasure.
Work.
So I started doing the podcast years ago, and I was like, man, I really like comic books. I went to a comic book page too. I didn't get through shooting my first video. And I was like, nah, this is going to stay pleasure. I'm not leaving that over there.
Yeah. And so I started looking into, okay, things were opening back up. That first AD calls and he says, hey, do you want to, this was like, I want to say October of 2020. He said, I think things are opening back up. We're going to be shooting here and like right before Thanksgiving break and then film in December. Like we're trying to, speed things up now that things are opening back up. You want to come be a PA? And here I am, making really good money streaming. I don't really want to go work 12-hour days as a PA, busting my ass for like $150 a day. So I said, thanks for the opportunity, but I think I'm going to keep doing this thing. And he's like, all right, well, if you ever change your mind, I'm here, but glad things are working out for you.
Well, that's cool that he still thought of you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, I was like, wow, he actually like called me and like followed through and everything. He was serious. And so then I'm like, okay, if I'm not going to go do that, why are we living in LA where it's so expensive? Content creation you can do from anywhere.
Yeah.
And so I started talking to my wife about moving, but I still wanted to do film. Like that was the whole point, And so I start looking at the places. Georgia, just the weather is so awful. So I'm like, well, there's Albuquerque. I'm from Arizona, by the way. I don't know. Are you from Albuquerque?
Yeah, born and raised here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm from Yuma, Arizona. So I'm sure you know where that is because they got a Marine Corps Air Station out there. But I'm like, how about Albuquerque? Breaking Bad, all that stuff. Let's sleep on it. And literally the next day, they announced that like Netflix was buying the studio here.
Yeah.
I took that as a sign that we moved out here, and we've been out here for 5 years now. So.
Good for you. Yeah. I'm curious about the streaming thing too, because just wrangling the algorithm is a journey. One that I'm still on. I have no idea how the fuck to do it. I know I could be better about it, but I have no idea how to do it. When did you see that you were doing streaming, and you said about the charity event you were doing too, or the charity stream you were a part of? When did you start to see like your own independently created stuff start to gain, and how did you kind of shift and adjust to?
So at first it was, I started a series, and it was kind of cool because I saw other people start doing it too. It kind of caught on where it was like the stream stats. I would show how my stream did, how many viewers I averaged, all that stuff. And so everybody's seeing them, go up. And that was a really cool way to also advertise my stream. So people start showing up. I'm getting invited to these competitions for like Warzone and stuff. I'm not good enough to be in these competitions, and
you're that unemployed.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like my back was up against the wall. I got out of the military thinking I was going to go do this thing that was going to be, it was going to be tough to like make ends meet, and just burning through my savings, wondering when COVID was going to like die down. And so once I kind of put that correlation together, that the amount of content I put out about my stream would result in more people going to it, I just doubled down on that. I was posting like 10 times a day, like I said. And
were you posting like TikTok, Instagram, all of the above?
It was all TikTok at first.
No shit.
Yeah, and I mean, TikTok had just changed from like Musical.ly or whatever it was, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
It was like the karaoke thing or something like that. Yeah. That's hilarious. I haven't thought about that in years. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think people had really caught on how easy it was to just pick up your phone and make a video yet, It was still pretty early. And so it didn't matter what you posted. I mean, you could post the dumbest thing and it would get 1 million views. And so I just rode that wave as long as I could. And then, once I got tired of doing the streaming thing, because games were coming out unfinished and stuff, I played through Cyberpunk, like
I was literally
all the way through in one stream. And by the end, I'm just... This game is not what they said it was going to be,
Apparently, it took them up until, 2030, almost 2024 to completely fix it.
Yeah.
And do, good DLC for it and patch everything. But, oh, my God.
Yeah, and...
and not to cut you off, that's why I don't understand the outrage. I mean, I can understand, a little bit, but why people are so upset because GTA 6 just got pushed back. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, would you rather them push it back and work on it and refine it and make, because that has the hype it has to live up to is ungodly. Like the amount of anticipation is just insane. Or would you rather just put it out prematurely, and then you all complain like they did to Cyberpunk, and then you're all upset about it?
Yeah, I guess it seems like the reason why some people are upset is, they've spent all this money on it. How is it not finished by now? You could, basically pay all your problems away, but Yeah, no, I mean, they have to live up to the hype, or else this is going to be a disaster. You know,
Yeah.
it's the most expensive game ever made.
I'm convinced that they're going to release it at $100. But
You think so?
I think that's going to be the base price.
The thing is I know people will pay that.
Yeah,
You know?
same.
It's the one game where people will pay that.
Same, and it's kind of frustrating because like I've paid for I bought Battlefield 6 at 70. I'm not exactly ashamed of that, but I'm not proud of it either. But it's such a damn fucking fun game. Have you been playing Battlefield 6 at all?
Well, the funny thing is that I don't really game that much anymore.
It's so
Once
good.
I like made the the leap to filmmaking,
Yeah.
but
Well, and that's good that you have your time filled with other things.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, just I don't know, man. Like base games, because I remember it was stuck at $60, and then maybe if you wanted to buy the cool version, it was like 90, maybe 100. But it came with like I remember I got like the cool version of the first Black Ops, and it came with like a remote
Yeah, I had
RC
that.
car or
the
like
Prestige edition.
yes, that's what it was. And then like I got the one for Black Ops 3, and that's where that little Juggernaut thing came from. Like
Yeah.
back when you got like really cool shit. And
Yeah.
now it's just like pay 120, 150, whatever, and you get extra skins. It's like fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you get the battle pass,
Yeah,
right?
oh, I can't. I can't with that shit, dude.
Yeah, it's funny because I wasn't gonna get the new Black Ops, right? And then
do
my
it.
brother's like, oh, play Black Ops with me. And so I'm like, all right, I'll get it, but I don't know, I'm only gonna play it with him. So I'm like, I hope this $70 is worth it. But
Get Game Pass and just move on with your life. But even then, Game Pass is $30 a month.
are you? So do you mainly play on console, or you playing on PC?
PC.
So that's the thing that sucks about GTA 6 is we gotta wait a whole extra year.
Fuck.
Yeah, so every time they delay it, I'm just like, whatever, I already got to wait another year after that to play it on PC.
Yeah, because there's no way I'm going to be able to afford a PS5 anytime soon. Because those
Yeah.
are topping out at like $600-700.
Yeah, they just raised them.
Yeah, no, that's just. And then I saw the pros were like 900 almost. Like, no, that's not happening.
Just get a low end PC at that
Yeah,
point.
no, for real. Like, save up double the money, and then get just this.
Wait for
this-
Black Friday and get a good
Yeah.
deal on one.
Yeah, get a supercomputer,
Yeah.
and then especially because I do the podcast and all that, I have to edit anyway.
Yeah.
So just stick with PC. Are they really waiting an extra year to put the GTA out on? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What
That's
a shame.
how Rockstar always does it, unfortunately. But I mean,
Yes.
GTA 5, I'm pretty sure was delayed twice too, so I was expecting it.
Yeah.
I know there's some people who made some really good money on Polymarket by betting that it was going to get delayed again.
This is totally off topic, but like, 'cause are you into gambling at all?
So my biological father, he kind of like gambled his whole salary away, and then my parents got divorced because of the whole, so I stay away from it.
Same. Yeah,
But-
I walked into a casino for the first time. This was is it after COVID? Yeah, no, it was right before COVID. This was like middle of 2019. Me and my buddies went to Vegas, and I remember walking through that casino for the first time, and just seeing like a living graveyard, and I was like, I'm never doing this. Like, there's no way you can convince me to sit down and spend all my money on
Yeah.
all these flashing lights. And then, like, I remember one time, it was a few years after, but me and my buddies had gone back to Vegas because a few of our friends live out there, and we were hammered on the casino floor, and we convinced my buddy to go play poker because he had like an extra $60 left. And he sits down, and we know nothing, or not poker, sorry, blackjack. We know nothing about
Okay.
blackjack. We don't know, like, we know how the game is played. We don't know, like, the strategy or the whatever. So it's all empty seats, except for he's like maybe on the second one in, and there's this guy on the very end, clearly an addict, like clearly a blackjack addict, like lost all his rent,
Yeah.
And so my buddy makes a couple of bad plays, and this dude was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, because you'll fuck up the table too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he starts flipping out. Security had to come drag him out of the fucking casino. Like, I've never seen. He's maybe mid-40s. Dragged him out, kicking and screaming. And I just remember seeing that too. I'm like, yeah, I'm sticking with the no gambling thing. But now you can gamble on your phone. You
Yeah.
go on like Polymarket. What's the other one? Kalshi.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know all of them, but is it legal here, like online gambling in New Mexico, or?
No, the online gambling isn't, but the
Well, people just use VPNs, so it doesn't.
well
doesn't
that
matter,
and then Kalshi's like, there's enough podcasts I listen to where they talk about it. It's or they ad for it. It's not like a traditional gambling. It's like a prediction market. Yeah, it's a prediction market where you can bet on stuff like when's GTA 6 going to come out, or like are they going to postpone it, or they have like politics on it. You can bet on the fucking weather. Like, it's absolutely insane. Anyway.
Yeah. You can bet on anything.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. So you transition from streaming, you come to Albuquerque, and you start filmmaking. So why filmmaking? Why film school in the first place?
I mean, I saw the re-release of E.T. when it came out in like 2002. So I was 6. I'm 29. I turned 30 in March, but I just remember just being hooked.
Damn, whatever your skincare routine is, dude, you keep it up.
Dude, honestly, I think it's because like I'm just so short, you know. Like they say, shorter people live longer and they age slower, all that stuff. You know, it's less blood to flow everywhere or something. But I remember asking my parents, like, where do movies come from, you know? And then my mom started showing me like, oh, you can go watch like behind the scenes on these new DVD things that came out. And so I watch all the special features I can find, and I was set on being a director, even though as a naive kid, you don't really know what that entails, right? It's so much more than people think. But yeah, I was dead set on that. But then I start looking into film school once I get into high school, and seeing how expensive it is. Just to go to college in general is expensive, but
it's a fucking racket, dude.
Yeah, and so, I'm the oldest of 3 siblings, and I'm like, I don't want to be the older siblings, like, can you pay for my film school? And then, like, screw over my siblings, because they probably want to go to school. And so I talked to my dad, who adopted me, my stepdad. He did adopt me, so I call him dad. But he served in the Coast Guard for 14 years. And, he's a great guy, so I'm like, oh, it must have something to do with it. And I asked him, I was like, should I go do this? This seems like a good option here, get free school, go serve my country, good benefits. He's like, yeah, give it a shot, and so that's what I was going to do. I was going to go to film school. They were going to pay for it. And then it was when I went to that studio lot and shadowed, and I remember talking to them about, what my plan was. And they're like, you don't have to go to film school. And I'm like, I don't? And he goes, hey, who here went to film school? And like 2 people raised their hand. And so they're like, yeah, dude, just go start doing it. You're going to have to start like that anyways, even if you do go to film school. So, but anyways, I've been obsessed with movies since I was a kid.
Dude, I got the same advice because I originally went to college and I got a Crim J degree because I didn't know what else to do. And I transitioned to UNM, flunk out once, because I was just working a bunch of jobs and I was drinking a lot, so that was not conducive to good. Yeah, not conducive to good learning. So, and then I joined the military, came back, tried to do school again, didn't work out. And then the third time that I tried school at UNM, I did it online, and I did it for film school. And I got the same exact advice from one of my professors because he set up like this Zoom thing to like get to know, because there was like maybe 4 of us in this online class. And he goes, so why are you taking this course? I was like, well, I'm going for my film degree. This is intro to digital film production. I figure this is necessary for film school. And he goes, all right, I'm going to stop you right there. Nothing about film school is essential. And I was like, okay. And he goes, yeah, nothing's essential. Anyway, and then he goes back to his conversation. And after like 5 minutes, I stop him. I'm like, hey, man, I know you have this like whole thing planned. I totally get that. Can we go back to what you said like 5 minutes ago? Because that's like, that's antithetical to everything else that we're about to do. Like, why isn't it necessary? He tells me the same thing, that basically the same example you just got. He's like, hardly anybody goes to film school. It's not essential at all. And he goes, you're doing this fucking podcast thing already, right? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, what's it called? And I sent him the YouTube page. And he starts scrolling through it. And he goes, did you know any of these people? Like, were they your friends? Were they your whatever? And I was like, no, I kind of just hit them up on Instagram, like met them out in public or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, you clearly know how to network.
Yeah, it's all networking.
And the best thing that you're going to get out of film school is just meeting other people that are doing the thing that you want to do. So if you can already do that without film school, I don't know, man, just go do it. If you know how to network properly, you'll be fine. And I was like, all right, sounds good. And then in all their wisdom, the New Mexico National Guard decided to cut student tuition about halfway through the semester.
They did.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, well, I'm just not going to college. That's fine. But yeah, I got the same exact advice. So do you end up doing anything more with film school, or are you just like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm going to do it myself?
I just started teaching myself, man. I mean, YouTube is a hell of a resource, you know?
Yeah.
Like, everything's on. There's too much on there. You'll find more bad advice, you know? But Yeah, no, it was YouTube. I mean, Masterclass. It was like $10 a month, and here there is like James Cameron and Martin
Right.
Scorsese. They all got courses.
Did you find those useful? I've never
Yeah.
used Masterclass, but I've heard decent
Ron
things.
Howard's is great.
Okay.
I would definitely recommend Ron Howard's. His was it was all about directing, but he like broke down each part of it too, which was helpful. And he showed you how to like block actors and stuff, which is something I don't.
Can you define what that is?
That is how you set up the actors for the camera, where they're going to move around in the scene, which I think a lot of people don't think about that. They're just like, oh, we're just going to stand around and it's going to look good. And it's like, no, like there's a way to like cheat things for the camera. And if people are going to move around, you got to make sure they hit a certain mark, things like that. And so once I started seeing them do it, I actually, I got so comfortable on camera streaming. I said, why don't I go give this acting thing a shot? So I went to an acting school here, and, it was a 6-month course, and at the end of it, we made a short film. And so I saw how it was done, and I'm like, I can do this. Like it's just communication. You just got to communicate your vision and make sure that you're with people who can actually execute it, right? Hire people that got experience. And so after that short film that you saw, Pollo Loco, one of the guys that I met through that acting school, he also wanted to make a short film and start doing that stuff. And so I said, well, what's this idea you got? And so I sat down with them and I said, yeah, I think we could do this thing with this like drug dealer who finds out he's been cheated on. And so, I write a script. I think it was like 15 pages. And then we start getting our money together. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to throw a bunch of money at it and treat it like my film school. And so we made this short film for $30K. And I mean, I would not advise spending that much money on a short film, but I learned so much because, when you're the one spending the money, that allows you to do whatever you want position wise. So I was the co-director, the co-editor, a producer, getting everybody together, the writer, all that stuff. And I acted in it, So, I treated that like my film school. And then
So I really want to do. It's a good thing. Sorry, continue.
That's what actually got me hired to direct this short that I just sent you that trailer for. So it actually,
beautiful.
it led to me getting hired to make somebody else's project, which was an experience,
So I want to deep dive into your short film Pollo Loco here in a second.
Yeah.
But the short film that you made following the acting class, what was that short film? What were some unexpected obstacles that you ran into when you were shooting that for the first time, and then what did you end up learning from that to carry into the second one?
So I had 2 other acting partners. They broke us into groups, and they said, okay, you guys got to write a scene. And so I just treated it as, okay, if I know it can only be like 3 pages, I'm gonna try and make a 3-page short film, something that we can actually like use. And I ended up being the one who wrote it because, the other guys we couldn't settle on an idea. And then we figured something out. And then, so I write that. And I'm not going to name names, but the director who did it, like one of the obstacles I ran into, we were supposed to have like this girl who was going to be like the dead girlfriend in that one. And we show up to shoot it. And he's like, oh yeah, she couldn't stay. And I'm like, well, we're about to shoot and we don't have this, like, what are we going to do? And I'm like, well, there's got to be another way to do it. And he's like, what if we just film like a trunk, like a Tarantino trunk shot, of you guys like reacting to a dead body in a trunk. And I'm like, yeah, that works. And so we went and did that instead. But, I think the obstacles of that one were just, we were all new, we had never done that before.
Outside of the military, had you been in any kind of like team collaboration like that? Because we have so many ideas clashing with each other. I'd imagine some high performing or otherwise very idealistic personalities coming together to make one vision. Had you experienced that outside of the military before?
No. Everything that I did streaming wise, like I was on a streaming team for like an esports team for a year, but I was like one of the biggest people on it follower wise. So they kind of just left me alone, let me do my thing. So I didn't really do a whole lot team wise, unfortunately. But yeah, no, other than the military, that, filmmaking was the only thing I'd ever done where, actually had to like use leadership skills and,
Right.
and communicate, collaborate, like, I mean, though I think the one thing that transfers over from the military that does to filmmaking is that stress tolerance, like being able to like keep your cool under pressure, like something's not going right and we're going to lose the sun, like you can't panic because
Right.
then everybody panics because you're the person that they're asking, how are we going to do this? So, yeah, no, did that answer your question?
No, it does. No, it does for sure, because like I asked that too because, after getting out of the military, I see that a lot just in regular life, where it's like, oh, okay, I'm a part of this group of people that I have to work with. Okay, I've seen this personality before. Okay,
Yeah.
I know who you are. I know how to deal with you. I know how to, okay, we're going to be okay. And then also, like you said, with managing stress, it's like, for better or worse, in the military, you depending on your job, but generally speaking, you are exposed to very high stress environments.
Yeah.
And you know how to just be like, all right, chill out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I always try to remind myself whenever I am on a set and like something's going wrong, at least there's not, some guy in the middle of a heart attack in a basket dangling from a helicopter right now in front of me. It's never going to be that bad, like actual life or death.
Right.
But, time is money. And so I think, obviously that's one of the reasons why it's such a high stress environment. There's just so much at stake, but.
So how long did you guys end up taking to shoot that first, like, 3-page?
Like 2 hours.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, and it turned out fine, and I think it's because, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I mean, the writing, I think, allowed for it to be short and punchy, It's called For the Music. It's on my YouTube channel as well. It's just a little goofy, short little thing, but I mean, it turned out pretty cool, I think, for what it was. I mean, I think the cinematographer, he got a couple $100 to, like, shoot and edit it. So for, I don't know, let's say $400, like, it's something that we could have entered into festivals. We did not end up really doing that because, I was ready to like move on to something that I had more control over. But that also was encouraging, seeing that like so many things kind of went wrong doing that, and it still turned out okay because like, we figured it out, the problem solving aspect of it. So, and that's what filmmaking is, it's problem solving.
So then you move, for sure, and then you move on to the second short film with your buddy that you had met through that class.
Yeah.
You guys come together, you create the story, you have a script together, and you're able to put up your own money. And you just brought it up with the concept of time being money, especially on a production time schedule. How did you go about scheduling out your days to where you can prioritize, like, we're going to shoot all of this here, shoot all of that? How did you schedule all that out?
Yeah, so I worked on a shot list with my co-director, and we're like, okay, this is how many shots we need to do. We have 15 pages. We can probably do this in 4 days. Like that'll probably make it a little less stressful to have 4 days instead of just 3. Like I remember that's what we were debating, 3 or 4 days. And I'm like, I'll throw up another 5K. Let's have 4 days so I can really learn from this and not feel like we're just constantly trying to beat the clock, And I'm really glad I did that. So we take the shot list and we go. I get a first AD. He maps out the schedule. Like, okay, you break it down. The actors are gonna need to be here for this many days each, and then you figure out how you're gonna, do all that. I had one actor who like the day before is like, hey, I gotta go to court for like this DUI thing. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But hey, we figured it out, yeah, it's always something coming up.
Was it the dude that played the weirdo that comes up to the car? He's got DUI energy.
Maybe. That's so funny that you like pick up.
He's got DUI energy.
Yeah. I mean, I picked him to play the bum for a reason, right? But,
how about you fuck off?
yeah. Yeah, no, that was really funny because we shoot all of that like scene in the car, and we're like, all right, we got to like shoot this one scene with this guy after like lunch, and try to make the sun match up and all this stuff.
Right.
Yeah, no, that was really funny that like, but yeah, no, I mean the schedule, it's again, it's a collaborative effort. Luckily I did have my buddy Ben Escobar as the co-director. I actually do a filmmaking podcast with him called The Fellowship of the Script.
Oh, great. Okay.
We started that recently where we we're like, we don't see a lot of like podcasts where they're just actually talking about like how to do this stuff, you know? Like, yeah, they'll talk about movie news, do movie reviews, stuff like that. But we're like straight up telling you like, here's how you pick a title for a movie, you know? Like, because most people sit down and they don't even know like what to call it, you know? And that's hard. And you want to pick something good, you know? But yeah, no, sitting down with that first AD and figuring out, you know, how are we going to schedule these 4 days and make it work, you know? That was a big learning process, but yeah, I mean, that's how you do it. You know, you do your shot list and then you sit down and figure out, okay, how long is it going to take to get all these shots, and then map it around your actors and their availability.
And then when you're putting together not just the story of it, but what you're conveying to the audience, because I think one of the worst things, and you'll still find this in movies today, where they're telling you something and they're not showing you it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of exposition and whatever. Yeah. I think one thing that I picked up in the short film was there's a lot of showing and not telling. Like you like the spider guy, you know it's him because of the tattoo. Or
that was a happy accident, by the way. That wasn't going to be
great.
Yeah. It was my special effects guy, Nate Bright. He's like, hey, this guy's got this tattoo. You know, I can make like fake skin and just like draw the tattoo on it. I'm like, you could do that? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, let's fucking do it. And then the chicken stepped on it. Yeah. And I was like, there it is. That's the last shot in the film right there, you know? But yeah, no, thank you. Because I that is one of my biggest pet peeves too. You know, you sit down and watch a movie and for the first 20 minutes, they're just like, yeah, you know, this guy got out of prison the other day and, you know, he owes this guy money. And, you know, you're like, oh, God, you know?
Or I think the worst is like a step further than that isn't in the beginning. It's when the first act transitions into the second and there's like a 20-minute exposition dump because the movie just comes to a screeching halt. Yeah. So you just dump all of this story bullshit and then try to pick the momentum back up and then keep going.
Yeah, and I mean, I think exposition is necessary, but there's an art to delivering it. Like right now, I'm gearing up to shoot my first feature.
Nice.
In April. So we're gonna do like an Indiegogo in January and try to scrape up some money for that. But you know, I you know, it's about a family grieving. You know, the dad died and the
keep going. I'm just gonna check the cameras. Keep going.
Yeah. The grandson and the mom move into the grandfather's house, and you know, you gotta like communicate to the audience like what's the situation here, but you gotta do it without feeling like you're just, you know, they're reading a page of dialogue to give this information. You know, but yeah, I mean, I always try to show and not tell, you know, because I think all of our favorite movies do a good job at that.
Yeah, so. No, I agree. And there was one more point that I had in the back of my head, because it was the spider thing. Oh, and then it was the chickens. Where he's telling his cheating girlfriend is the chicken's gonna eat good, and he's like, no fucking way, this guy's gonna feed him to a what? Yeah, because it opens with like the chickens eating the slop. Yeah, it's like, oh, this is some jacked ass chickens. This is fucking. They're fed good, awesome, and it's like, oh, because I feel like a lazier way to do that because you kind of play like the hitman type.
Yeah, the guy. Heavy or whatever you want to call it.
Exactly, so like the goon, and then a lazy way to like the goon telling the guy who's about to die, he feeds his people to chicken. Like that'd be a lazy way to do it, right? But just to drop that and then have that in the back of the viewer's head as the movie continues, like this fucking guy's about to get fed to an animal.
Yeah, I mean, I one of my favorite things about the crime genre is playing with, you know, suspense and tension and all of that. So that's I think what I had the most fun with in this one was really ramping up the tension and just making the audience like what is something actually going to happen, you know? Because I watch a lot of short films at these festivals and it's almost like because they have a lack of budget, they're talking about more than they're actually going to do, and then nothing ever happens. And so I'm like, if this movie is going to be, you know, 20 plus minutes long, there's got to be a payoff. And so hopefully it felt that way with like the garage stuff. And, yeah. It almost feels kind of like two films because it shifts perspectives, right? Yeah. Yeah. And so that second half is where I really got to have fun with that character. And
I don't know if it was intentional or not, but the FaceTime moment where I just thought it was funny, like this big thing's about to happen. And the way the FaceTime call ends is the same way everybody ends a FaceTime call, where your face goes to the bottom half of the screen. You look like a thumb for a second, and he stinks. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, that specific moment wasn't intentional, but I kept it because it felt so real. Yeah. You know? No, that was Giancarlo. Like he's like all in character, and then he goes to like, you know, end the call, and he thumb fucks the button, and so he's like, you know. So yeah. So like when he says like dumbass, I think he's like calling himself a dumbass, but it just he was in character.
I thought so too. But it worked.
Yeah,
I mean it worked. So would you say that crime is your favorite genre of
Probably.
film? Okay. What was the movie that you watched that like kind of, because I feel like there's for everyone there's a movie that goes dog.
Yeah, it's definitely Drive.
Oh, it's a side note from that. So I showed my buddies Drive, and we were all in high school. Like, this movie's great. Yeah, the fucking, he's literally me 5 years for it to happen. You know, like, yeah, this is a great fucking movie. And then it was summer of, it's right after high school. So maybe summer of 2015, 2016 is when the same director, he puts out Neon Demon. And did you watch Neon Demon?
I haven't seen that one. I watched Only God Forgives, and I was like, I don't know if this director is really the reason why Drive turned out the way it did.
Yeah.
You know?
Because Only God Forgives was mediocre too, but I told my friends, like, we need to go fucking see this movie. It's the guy who did Drive. It's a horror movie. This is going to be great. I just saw one teaser and I'm sold. I remember 45 minutes in that movie, I'm sitting in between my two friends and they just stare at me. And they're like, why are we watching this? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you're like the friend who took them to a bad movie, right? Yeah.
I still get shit for it 10 years later. And I remember we walked out, and it was a late night showing, and so the guy behind the concessions is cleaning everything up. And I think it was my buddy Dom. He goes, "Man, that movie fucking sucked." And the guy behind the concessions goes, "You went to go see Neon Demon?"
Yeah, I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, the movie's called Neon Demon. What the fuck did you expect?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm like 18, 19. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that director, he let me down after that. And I did watch his he had a show on Amazon with Miles Teller.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, nobody watched it. Too Old to Die Young, and they shot some of it out here.
Oh, I've never even heard
of
it.
So there was a couple episodes that felt like Drive, but other than that, I don't think I watched the last episode because it turned out like one of the main characters this like villain character was actually a demon. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done. Once it gets supernatural and a crime thing, you know, I don't know anymore. But yeah, it's
interesting.
That guy's filmography is definitely not
Nicholas Winding Refn. Oh, that's kind of sad that it sucked. Did you like it or did you not like it?
The show?
Yeah, the show.
I liked 2 episodes of it that took place here in New Mexico.
That's kind of depressing because the guy, one of the writers on here, is Ed Brubaker, and he's a phenomenal comic book writer. Phenomenal.
Really?
Some of the best stories post like 2012 are written by this guy, and he's doing, if you like crime, and I've got I've got copies of the series. I'll show them to you after this. If you like crime, a great series that he's written, and he did it with so Sean Phillips is the guy who did the art for it. It's called Criminal. And there's 3 hardback volumes of it, and then they have like a Western crime series too. Let me see if I can find it really quick. It's called. Oh man, I can't find that's gonna bother me. I have a couple of them out there, but they have a Western one that's really good, and then he has another crime one, and it's called Kill or Be Killed, and it's about a guy who have you seen like Smile?
Yeah,
it's kind of like that. So like a demon attaches to him, and he has to kill somebody every 30 days, or the demon takes him out.
That's a cool concept.
And yeah, it's a great story. That kind of sucks. This show turned out shitty. He's a great writer.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I mean, that's the thing about shows, though. I mean, that, you know, they have a writer's room, and there can be inconsistencies with, you know, usually it depends on how they did the show. Sometimes they'll like split up episodes, like, oh, this writer writes these 2, and then, you know, so maybe he wrote the best 2 episodes. You never know. Maybe.
And that brings up a good point that I wanted to ask you too. So, because with editing your short film, filmmaking, yeah, just filmmaking in general is very much heavy on the editing, how the actual footage is put together. Was that your first time editing a film or editing a piece of work like that?
Pollo Loco?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would technically be.
You did a good job.
Thanks. I mean, I did have a co-editor, but it was basically like me telling him what to do. And I mean, after that experience, I was like, I can do this myself. All it did was slow it down, having to like communicate it through him and explain there was the when the door closes and it's a smash cut, it cuts to like quiet conversation out at the table. Like he didn't really understand what I meant by doing a smash cut. And so I'm like, this is just slowing me down. You know, I got to do this myself. And so this one that I just did, Hunters, that's about to go into festivals, like I cut the trailer for that. I did cut the Pollo Loco trailer too, but, you know, obviously, like, I'm not really showing people that anymore because the film is out. But I'm glad to hear that you like the trailer for Hunters, though, because that, you know, that's a big part of I've learned that's a big part of the festival circuit is, you know, they'll watch your trailer first and that will determine whether they're actually going to sit through your film or not.
Well, so, I mean, good, you know?
Yeah. Hopefully it gets them to, like, you know, get excited and just start watching it.
Yeah. So what's your thought process? Like, if you were to have like a list of priorities when you're putting an edit of something together, whether it's the trailer or the short film itself, what's your priority list on what you need to make sure happens, or what comes across to the audience when you're editing something?
So to me, I think the trailer, and I mean, this is something like pet peeve for me. I go to the movies a lot because I do movie reviews. So, you know, I'm going to see movies that I don't even want to see sometimes, and I'm sitting through the same trailers all the time. So if I see a bad trailer, I'll like, you know, all right, this is my time to go use the bathroom, right? It needs to sell the atmosphere. I mean, it sucks when you go see a movie and it's nothing like the trailer. Sometimes the trailer's better. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, man, Neon Demon, right?
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, and so you got to sell the atmosphere. You got to sell the intrigue, right? You got to make them want to know what it's about, what's really going on. And then, you know, getting in and out as quick as you can, I think. Some trailers are way too long. They start giving away way too much, you know? And for this one, I was like, this is a 14-minute film. This should not be longer than a minute.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, I mean, it's just those three things. You know, I want to make sure that I'm selling the film for intrigue, but also to, like, represent the film, you know? Like, I want it to feel like you saw what you wanted when you go watch that film because you saw the trailer and it interests you, you know?
Right.
Too many trailers don't do all three things, and then, you know, you end up disappointed.
Yeah, well, and then it's like there's the opposite effect too, where there'll be just a shitty trailer for a great movie, and you don't watch the movie because of it, and you hear all the great things about it, or you just happen to, I've got an hour and a half, I'll watch this movie. It's like, this was fucking great. Why did I miss this in theaters? Oh, because the trailer was dog shit. Like, I remember, and I adore fucking Batman versus Superman, but I remember when the second trailer came out, and they revealed at the end of the trailer that Doomsday was in it. And I'm like, that's your reveal at the climax. Why are we doing this in the trailer? And then, of course, the third trailer that came after that was just focused on Batman and Superman.
Yeah,
like,
that should have been, you know, and doing like 3 trailers, they shouldn't be doing that. You know,
well, you know,
like 1, maybe 2, like a teaser trailer and a full trailer.
So I agree. First of all, I agree completely. But also at the time, that was the height. Well, almost the height. Like, you're reaching the peak of like superhero movies.
100%.
And like they just needed to get the hype going as much as humanly possible. And you had people, and I was one of them, foaming at the fucking mouth, ready for this movie. And then obviously the heartbreak came when Justice League came out, and they fucked all that up.
Yeah, but the Snyder Cut's great, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Thank you. It's phenomenal. It's probably my favorite movie, if I'm being completely honest.
Really?
Because whenever I have that conversation with people, like my favorite movies, I preface it by saying my favorite are not the best ever made by any means. But I think, that's the one I've seen the most, I think. Because it's just, it accomplishes absolutely everything that I want it to. And
there's so much emotion in it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, my only criticism of it is that it's such a time suck. And it doesn't feel like 4 hours. But then you're done with it and it's dark outside and you've missed all your responsibilities and you've got like 15 missed calls because you just spent 4 hours watching this fucking extravaganza. And then, unfortunately, Snyder's movies after that have not been very good. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, what is it? Rebel Moon? They did a G Fuel flavor for that one.
You want to laugh really quick?
Sure.
Before this, I'll say this. Very thankful to have this. Shout out to Kim, friend of the show, new friend of mine this year that I met. So she's actually friends with Snyder.
That's cool.
Small world, right?
Yeah, it is a small world.
Small fucking world. So, not a great movie, Revel Moon. Unfortunately, I got through the first 30 minutes of it, and I was like, not very good.
Oh, you never finished it?
Never finished it.
Not even the, what did they do? They did
the super duper cut? No.
Unrated cut or something.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. But, I did get that.
That's pretty cool.
Signed by the dude himself.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
So that's sick. Love that. Thank you again, Kim. I show this off every chance I get, because I'm a fucking Snyder fanboy. But, yeah, the movie just wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, I think I see what the intentions were, but it's just, I don't know. It feels too much like it was a Star Wars movie that never was.
Well, that's what it was.
Know? Yeah.
That was, because I believe that was the story behind it, was that
it was, yeah.
He shopped it to Disney, and they're like, no, we're not doing that. This rated R extravaganza, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But which kills me, because the guy, God bless him, he's not a great writer. But he knows how to use a camera. Yeah. And he knows how to focus on characters. He knows how to highlight characters. He knows how to, like you were saying, there's a lot of emotion in the 4-hour Justice Leagues, and he knows how to get all that across. And his action scenes are truly second to none.
Yeah.
But the actual substance of the story, when he's putting pen to paper, is not good.
I mean, if you want to talk about a shame, dude, I mean, I'm sad we never got the Ben Affleck Batman movie.
Dude,
because his him in that warehouse and Batman versus Superman is. I'm like, why we need a whole movie of that? That is so badass, dude.
You are speaking my fucking.
Yeah,
listen,
I saw
sir,
it when
you're
I came
speaking
in.
my fucking language here. Well, because I enjoyed Robert Pattinson's Batman. I thought it was perfectly fine. I hate his suit.
Really?
With a passion. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was more of my tone. I like that loner type, kind of feel that it had going on. But...
No, I love the atmosphere of it. I love the writing. I love the story. But I've never been a fan of a super armored up Batman. That's just not my taste.
Gotcha.
And then what sold it for me that I don't like it was that scene where he's walking down the hallway and he's getting lit up with bullets. I'm like, that's not Batman. Batman. He's not the Terminator. Batman's a ninja. He wouldn't walk down and first of all, no human is eating fucking, because they're submachine guns, but they're shooting fucking 40 caliber bullets.
Yeah, no, even if you got armor on, you're still going to get knocked the fuck down.
And you're telling me it all missed his head? Because he's just wearing leather. There's no way. But aside from that, I mean, the story, because I remember there was an interview that came out a year and a half ago, I think, with Joe Manganiello, the guy who played Deathstroke.
Sure. Yeah.
And he was talking about, he's like, it was supposed to be Batman in one way or another was responsible for Deathstroke's daughter dying. So he, basically Deathstroke was this great white shark, and he was moving through Gotham, destroying Batman's life and turning it upside down and hunting him down, and Batman's losing the whole movie. I'm like, man, that's... And Deathstroke's suit was so fucking cool too.
Yeah, it did look cool.
How did we not get that? But unfortunately, with how Justice League turned out and how horrible the set life was with Joss Whedon, was just leading Ben Affleck back to drinking and
essentially just full on depression to the point where he didn't want to do it anymore, and it's a shame because I really would have liked to see him direct himself as Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, he got so fucking jacked. My God. I remember watching Gone Girl. You seen that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude is getting beefed up for that Batman role. Damn.
It would have been so good to... I don't know. I just don't know why... when you have a sure thing like that, why studios don't throw as much money. Because on the other end of the aisle, proverbially, on the other end of the aisle, you had Marvel and I guess Disney at that point too, throwing as much money as humanly possible at the Avengers to make all that work. Why are you not doing the same with Batman? And people shat all over BVS, but the constant, the common denominator was that everybody loved Affleck. Yeah. Everybody loved him. And so they're like, why wouldn't you streamline that movie? That's your $1 billion movie right there. Yeah. I'm convinced. If you make a solid 2-hour Ben Affleck directed, because he had just come off of Argo, where he won the Oscar for that. And then everyone loved The Town.
Yeah.
And good press. I know Fincher did Gone Girl, but great press off of that movie.
Yeah.
That would have been a winning fucking take. But
yeah.
oh well.
Who knows, man? There's, that the studio meddling, it's just, there's
It's
so much
insane.
going on. We don't know anything about it, but I do trust that Ben Affleck probably made the right call,
For
not
himself.
doing it. Yeah. But yeah, it's a shame. I mean, Batman versus Superman. I mean, how much do you like that one? 'Cause
So
it's
yes,
messy.
yeah. So when it came out in theaters, I saw it 11 times. I adored it.
Damn.
Yeah. I was like, damn, this is fucking great. Like, I love this movie. I can overlook a few things, but I love this movie. And then I saw the director's cut, the 3-hour version, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is way better than the PG-13 nonsense. Hey, wait
Yeah.
a minute. Because I kind of just like, I understood some criticisms, but I kind of just like put 2 and 2 in my head. Like, oh, well, Superman didn't see the bomb because the thing was probably made of lead, but they don't explain that in the theatrical version. And then like in the Africa scene where it's like they're blaming Superman for all the deaths. Like, oh, well, they're probably blaming him just the idea of Superman, but not like, okay, I'll look past that. Whatever. But yeah, the 3-hour version, I was like, this is one of the best comic book movies ever made. Even though people just people shit all over it left and right. And I totally get it, because a lot of people don't like the dour, darker version of Superman. But I kind of looked at it like, well, we know who Superman is, just like in the same way we know who Batman is. And do I love Batman going around killing people with guns? No. But my question is, well, if you're going to do that, why are you going to do that? And then how do you get Batman back to who he traditionally is? Which is who
Yeah.
he comes back to at the end of the movie.
Right.
Now, am I going to sit here and tell you that the Martha scene is perfect, is perfectly executed? No. Should have left that in the oven for a couple months, kind of rewrite that one a little bit. But I love the idea, because he said it a couple times, but Snyder said it when he went on Rogan a few years ago. And I like the idea that if you don't put these characters in situations that challenge who they are fundamentally, you're protecting them in a weird way. Like, you should put them in positions where, like, how do they get out of that and still maintain who they are, whether that's in one situation over a long period of time. So the idea that Batman's going to start using guns because now he sees an alien come down, and it's like, fuck this. If you're in my way, you're going to die. Sorry. Like, that's just how this is going to happen. It's like, okay, I can get that, but how do we get back to Batman? But what it took for him to literally come back to being himself was him becoming Joe Chill. And if he kills Superman, he becomes Joe Chill. And yeah, I just wish they didn't have the fucking Martha breakdown. But then it's also like, Batman would have mad PTSD. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I know they show like the Robin costume,
Yeah.
right? So like, there's something there that we just they didn't flesh it out. I mean, I think a big problem was them trying to shit together this universe to rival Marvel, when Marvel took so much time doing it, and it's just, you can't do it that fast.
I agree. I would also say too, though, the advantage that DC had was that everyone knows who. Well, first of all, they have the rights to all their characters, so they have that on their side. But everyone knows who Batman is. Everyone knows who Superman is. Most people have an idea of who Wonder Woman or the Flash are, because a lot of us grew up with the Justice League animated series. For the most part, I don't know if you watched that as a kid or not.
No, I actually wasn't into like Marvel. Like when Iron Man came out, that was my first real introduction to comics.
Did you watch Justice League as a kid or no? The animated series?
No.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
Bro.
I was watching Scooby Doo.
You're missing
Tom
out.
and Jerry and stuff.
Scooby Doo's the shit. But have you seen like the Batman animated series from the 90s?
No, but I mean, I hear people rave about it all the time, man.
Oh, yeah, it's worth
know?
your time, dude. It's genuinely so good.
I think that there's something wrong with me. I have a hard time getting into animated stuff, if I'm being honest. It's like, I don't know, my brain's just telling me, like, oh, this is a cartoon.
Not even like the Spider-Verse shit?
I mean, I like those.
Okay.
But I think it's because, they're treated like a normal movie. It just happens to be animated. And that animation style, I mean, it just shook everything up. Everybody's copying that now. But yeah, we'll see if we ever get the third one of those, right?
Well, if old boy stops being a damn creep towards Haley Steinfeld, maybe we will get a third movie. You been seeing all that?
No, but
Oh yeah, there was like a weird period of time where he was like posting some weird shit on his like Twitter or his Instagram after Haley Steinfeld got engaged, and then like it led people to start like rewatching interviews when they were promoting the second movie and how like weirded out she was around him, like the body language wise. And it's like, oh, maybe this guy's a fucking creep. well then like a bunch of rumors, I don't know how true this is, but a bunch of rumors came out that like she requested for the third movie to not record in the same recording booth as him, and like bunch of weird shit, dude.
That explains it. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. They're just taking so long, you know.
Yeah. But anyway, you should watch those fucking animated series, dude. They're worth your time. Okay. It's a lot of episodes though, but it's worth your time. But my point is like, I kind of liked what Snyder was going for, that he was going for a five movie. Now, obviously, that's not what DC wanted. They want the cinematic universe and the whatever, but he's just going for a 5 movie story where, and again, I get not a lot of people enjoyed it, but I kind of like that you're starting from a deconstruction version of these characters, where by the end of the 5 movies, they are who we normally see them as. I love that idea because we've never had that before, but people didn't like it. And personally, and again, I'm a huge fan, but because I kind of look at Watchmen the same way, right? I think Watchmen was released way too early. I think that was a bit ahead of its time. I think if Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman and his version of Justice League came out now, after like all the trudge that Marvel's been putting out, people would be like glazing it.
Probably.
Personally, I think people would just be glazing it. But when you're putting that out at the same time that Marvel is doing their thing, and they're so diametrically different, and Marvel is like just rising and rising and rising, you know, we got what we got. So.
Yeah. Did you watch the Watchmen series?
Yes. Oh, yes, the HBO one. Yes, I did.
What'd you think of that? I mean, it's all made up, right?
Yeah, it was interesting. Did you read the comic?
No.
So that's what I kind of appreciated about it, is that it didn't branch off of Snyder's movie. It branched off of the comic book. Mm-hmm. I loved the idea. Like some of the ideas they were playing with. Like
me too.
How Rorschach, his diary ends up getting mass produced and it becomes like an alt-right thing. That's totally what it would have been, because that dude's a fucking psycho in the books.
Right.
Or in the book, rather.
Yeah, no, I've heard people talk about that.
Yeah. Or like, what was the other one? Oh, it was like, so, because at the end of the book, Ozymandias, he like opens this interdimensional portal and a giant squid comes down and like massacres New York. So the idea that like people have PTSD from a squid, that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting.
I like the idea of that. The Dr. Manhattan reveal was weird.
Yeah, there's some weird woke stuff going on.
It was weird.
And yeah, but I think for me, I mean, this is to harp back on my own stuff. To me, like the atmosphere, like I will watch something that's
for sure.
okay if the atmosphere is like, you know, you're just like in it and you feel it, you know? I mean, like the first episode where there's like the traffic stop and then they shoot up the cop and like, I'm just like, oh, this is badass. What are we doing here, you know? Yeah. And the guy who, gosh, what's his name? It's like Damien Lindelof, or I can't remember his name. The guy who did that, he did another series called The Leftovers.
I started that. That's the one where the rapture happens.
That one's crazy.
I saw the first season of that, like right when it was first coming out.
Yeah, that is like that's really good. And so when I found out that he was doing Watchmen, I watched it for him, not for the Watchmen stuff. And so I think maybe that's why I liked it more. But yeah, I mean, there's some weird choices and stuff, you know. Yeah. But I did like that, like each episode kind of focused on a different character and stuff like that, you know. Who's the guy who, the great actor, the guy who had like the shiny mask that was like, you know, always changing and stuff. Yeah. His episode was cool where he like goes to the bar and he meets that chick and then she gets in the truck and there's the freaking cabbage falling off the truck and it's like, oh, calls back to the first episode and like, yeah, no, I like stuff like that. It was playing with the crime stuff though. You can see why I probably liked it, but, yeah, no, I don't get into the comic book stuff as much, you know? Like, I don't really know the source material, so maybe I'm a little more forgiving about stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the state of comic book stuff right now is really interesting.
Well, I mean, it's... How do I put it? Like, I think there is comic book fatigue.
Definitely.
But I think it's also, like, movies are, in general, not just comic book movies, obviously. Movies are expensive. It is a lot of money to go, even not even like forget, because the model a lot of people use is like the family of four going out. Forget that. Just focus on date night. If you're going out on a Friday night with your girlfriend, your wife, boyfriend, husband, whatever, if you're going out and you're going to go see a movie on a Friday night, well, let's assume you're going to get dinner, right? So you can just tack on $50 to $60. But let's say you're not even getting dinner. Just the movie itself. Tickets average 15 to 18. Let's say you're not doing IMAX or the fucking D box or the whatever, right? So
yeah.
Let's just say a regular ticket, 15 to 18 a pop. So you're looking at anywhere between like $30 and $36 just on tickets. And then you're going to...
There's a way around that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I do the subscription, you know? Like
Okay,
even,
are those worth it?
100%. I mean, for somebody who goes to the movies like twice a week, 100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
But you're not the norm.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if somebody was like, you know, maybe I would see more movies if it wasn't so expensive to get the tickets, get the membership.
So what membership do you have?
I have the Regal one because that's what's closer.
Okay.
I'm over on the northwest side, so the AMC's like pretty far for me, but AMC, that lets you see IMAX and everything included in that. Res Regal, I think there's an upcharge. Yeah,
Is it free tickets?
it's like $25 a month and you get unlimited tickets. You can go every day, see 3 movies if you want. AMC, I think, lets you see 3 a week. They might have just upped it to like 4 or 5, but dude, it's
For
like, if you want,
$25 a month.
yeah. I don't know how people don't know about this, you know, but
I might have to sign up for that. I did not know that. Because
Yeah.
though their ads just say like it's like discounted tickets. Not fucking free. Well, maybe that's why they don't do it. It's because people...
Well, the thing is like each theater chain has their own version of it. Like Cinemark, you get, I think it's like $9 and you get 1 ticket a month.
I've seen that
Yeah,
one.
and it's like...
That's kind of bullshit.
I have it, and we go once a month. But I don't go to Cinemark more than the once a month, you know, because, you know, it then you're paying full price after that.
Okay, so I just want to hear you say that one more time.
Okay.
AMC deal is how much a month and you get free?
I don't remember how much AMC costs, but I'm sure it's competitive, so it's probably somewhere around $25 a month, and you can see like 3 movies a week or something like that.
So which one do you have?
I have the Regal one because
Regal.
the closest one to me is like the Cottonwood.
Because I have the free Regal membership where you just like scan for rewards or whatever.
Right.
It's $25 a month, 3 movies a week.
If you do Regal, you can see as many as you want.
Minis, oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm going to do that, dude.
There is like the tax, like it's like 50 cents a ticket or
Okay.
something.
Yeah,
but
no,
who fucking
yeah.
cares at that point?
No,
you
because
know?
what I used to do when I was in high school going into college, and again, Marvel's at its peak, so this is like 2015 to 2018. Me and my buddies would all go watch the Marvel movies together, so I would have them give me the money for the tickets. I'd buy all the tickets on my account, so I get all the credits, and then I'd go watch the movies by myself that I wanted to see that weren't the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
It's like when Oscar season came around and all the movies were coming out, I was like, okay, I'll just go watch this. Free for all those phase up tokens and shit. I'm going to look into that.
You should. I remember when I was in the Coast Guard, there was a Movie Pass. You remember about that?
Yeah.
I abused the shit out of that while I was there. Because, I mean, we're talking like, it was like $16 a ticket there, right? You know, like one person. Here it's like, I mean, it's gone up a little bit with inflation now, but yeah, I mean, I abused that. And the Movie Pass is the reason why all these theaters started having to like do a subscription thing. Because, you know, they were just losing.
Right.
But,
So let's say they don't have that crazy deal that you just illustrated. Holy shit. That like...
By the way, I think you get like 20% off concessions too if you have that thing. So it's like you're saving a lot of money by having that, you know, that membership.
Sponsor the podcast. I will talk about this
Regal?
I will talk about this for hours on end.
So my preferred theater to go to if you want to do dinner in a movie is Flick's Brewhouse. I don't know if you've been there yet.
I have mixed feelings about Flick's Brewhouse.
Tell me why. I want to know.
Yeah, so... Okay, let me finish my point first. So my point that I was getting at before you completely dismantled my argument, before you completely dismantled it...
You know, going to the movies is expensive if you're going on a date.
If you don't have that subscription service...
Which most people don't.
Right. So you're paying like $30 to $36 for tickets, and then you're adding at least another $25 for the concessions. You're cranking up to a little over $50. But then if you had dinner on top of that, you easily have a $100 night. So I just think like, because we're talking about superhero fatigue, and I'll get back to flicks. with the superhero movies, I think just because I equate this a lot to how people feel about politics too, is regardless of how things might actually be going or the options available to you that you just illustrated, for better or worse, I think it's for worse. But a lot of the status of something is how people feel about it and how they perceive it and what they're being told and yada, yada, yada. So people look at the movies now, and I think this sentiment has been growing post-COVID. They look at the movies as it's becoming a luxury. You know what I mean? To be able to go to the movies.
Yeah.
So like for instance, me and my girl, when we go to the movies, we usually go on a Tuesday because it's the discount day.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're gonna start going on fucking Friday night.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna start balling out of control.
Yeah.
No, but you have these people that are viewing it as a luxury, and so I think that's gonna try and drive it down. And so many people are paying for Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, HBO, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it's all costing so much money.
It's like paying for cable now, yeah.
It basically is. Well, I mean, like Netflix, their like premium subscription service is something to the tune of
it's like $23.
no, dude, it's like 30.
You're
now.
right, but I don't even look anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I write it all off because I'm always making content. But yeah, I mean,
Damn.
it just keeps going up.
Yeah,
man.
so it's like $30 a month just for that, and you have everything else. So you're topping out over $100 a month for subscription service. Like, well, if I'm paying for the fucking thing, I better use it rather than go out and whatever. So you have that happening, and then you have the conversation around superhero movies, which does deal a lot with political topics, where even if a movie, like Superman's a great example. In my opinion, I went and saw Superman. I loved it. I thought it was great. I didn't find it to be that politically driven.
I didn't either.
Like,
I thought it was spun to be.
yeah,
Right?
like, well, and I think what unfortunately what led to that was during the premiere that happened like 3 days or so before the movie came out. Sean Gunn decided to open his mouth about immigration. And it's like, this is a movie about immigrants and blah, 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 blah. And then James Gunn just skirted away from all of that.
Yeah.
But everyone, especially on the right, took that talking point and just ran with it. Like, Superman is about immigrants and it's about blah, 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 and fuck ICE. And it's like, no, it's not, first
All
of
that
all.
stuff was, all the stuff that's in the movie that they're trying to link it to is in the comic, right? That's all comic.
Well, like,
I mean, it probably changed it a little bit, but that's always
well,
been there, right?
I mean, Superman's story is an immigrant story, but
Yeah.
but it kind of.
Sorry, I meant like the stuff with like the foreign country in that one.
No,
that's not in the comic.
That's not a comic book story at all.
Really?
No, if anything, I was going to bring that up. If anything, that is the most political that it gets. That's clearly in Israel, Gaza.
I wonder who I was listening to on a podcast that said that was part of a comic storyline.
Not that I've read. I haven't read every Superman comic, but like
That's the other thing. There's too many different comics, right?
yeah, there's so
who
many.
knows?
Right,
But-
because like there's so many different source materials to pull
Yeah.
from, but specifically like the two countries that were going at it, I took that as a clear parallel to Israel and Gaza, and I just thought it was fucking hilarious that hot girl, if that is the case, that hot girl drops Benjamin Netanyahu out of the sky. Like, I remember me and my chick were watching it, and I just turned, I was like, yo, they just killed Benjamin Netanyahu. What the fuck? You can do that in a movie? But it was a very apolitical movie. But even with like the story of immigration, if you want to attribute that to Superman, he is an immigrant, definitionally.
Yeah.
But it kind of falls apart with the left side of how they view immigration, because the Superman story is that he comes to America, assimilates, embodies the best of what Western values are, and tries to protect humanity from that. He doesn't police the world at all, but he loves humanity. That's his number one priority, is protect humans.
Yeah, he has a whole monologue about being human, right?
Yeah.
In that at the end of that, yeah.
Yeah, and but it's funny though, because again, talk about so many source material. Like, there's a run from I think it's like the mid '80s going into the '90s by John Byrne, where this guy was super duper right wing politically, and I haven't read all of it. I've read like the first volume. It's pretty decent, but he wanted to remove his version of Superman so far away from the immigrant story that he has Superman come to Earth in the Kryptonian pod, but like it's a pod. If I'm remembering it correctly, it's like a Kryptonian ship pod mixed with like an incubator, like womb almost, to where like he technically isn't born until it crashes and opens on Earth in America. So he's like a born American because he wanted to remove it so far away from an immigrant story, which is like
that's crazy.
Yeah, you're kind of going out of your way. But whatever, like that's your prerogative. Do what you want, whatever. But my point is though is. Like the nickname for the MCU for a while became the MCU because of how like female focused they were, but none of the female products were that great. Like fucking She-Hulk was garbage, Miss Marvel was garbage.
She-Hulk, man.
The Marvels was garbage. And then there was a Black Widow fucking sucked. I hated that movie.
Yeah, that was a mess.
So that started driving Marvel's stock down, and then so I just think there's a general consensus around superhero movies right now where it's like it's all of that, like it's too political or it's a cash grab, or they're trying, because obviously they're bringing back Robert Downey Jr., so that's a clear cash grab. Like they just want to drive people in, and it might pay off. Who knows? And they're resurrecting all the old X-Men from the dead to bring them back, and like a part of me looks at that and I'm like, That's my dog, Magneto.
There's potential for things to be really cool, but part of me feels like they're breaking in case of emergency. Let's get Robert Downey Jr. back. Let's try to get everybody excited again. But I just...
It's the member berries from South Park.
Yeah, I honestly think... And they would never do this. But I think, like, after Endgame, they should have just taken a break.
I agree.
Like... 4 or 5 years.
Oh my god! I was saying this like 6 years ago. Keep going. I know exactly. Keep going.
Like, come up with a solid plan. I mean, you're not gonna To be fair, the whole what was the bad guy that was it Jonathan Majors? The whole he got canceled. Yeah,
Kang. Yeah.
They tried to put together like another Thanos, but it was just so.
Well, they just didn't. Well, what blew my mind about the Kang thing was they didn't even do it right. Not even from a comic book storyline perspective, but just from a storytelling perspective. You premiere your villain on a streaming service TV show. Yeah. You don't even have him, because the thing with Thanos was like up until at the end of Avengers and forward, with the exception of like maybe 2 or 3 movies, Thanos was mentioned in every movie or alluded to, or you could feel the presence of like, oh, we're building towards something bigger. Coming, like there's an imminent threat, or there's a bigger universe. Like at the end of Iron Man 2, there was Thor's hammer, or at the end of Iron Man, Nick Fury showed up, and then obviously the big reveal of Thanos at the end of the Avengers. They didn't even do that. Like there was no mention of Kang. There was no mention of a multiverse really up until really with Loki, that was it. And they don't really touch on it. And they bring it up in Spider-Man, where there's a multiverse. But
yeah, and the whole multiverse thing. I mean...
It was done very poorly.
The problem with the multiverse stuff is the stakes kind of go away. Because you're like, oh, well, in a way we can kind of just erase stuff and redo things. If somebody doesn't like something, we can just change it, And it's like, God, it just doesn't feel... It just doesn't feel as rewarding, and the stakes aren't as high.
The multiverse, I don't know if this analogy is going to work properly, because I just thought about this. The multiverse is like melted cheese. When you put it on the right foods, get the fuck out of here. We got queso, dog.
Yeah.
What the fuck? But if you put melted cheese on everything, it's like, oh, you don't know how to make food? You just think melted cheese fixes everything?
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense or not.
It kind of does,
I think that makes sense. But... you can't add the multiverse to everything. You still need to have characters that you... like. That's why the first 3 phases of Marvel worked so well, because people got attached to Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, and then, like... I don't know, man, because it's funny, because if you look at who the household names were for Marvel before the MCU, like, so let's say 2005. Spider-Man, Hulk, Wolverine... Captain America for sure, maybe the Fantastic Four, and then like the X-Men as a team. Mm-hmm. But the Avengers weren't like the household names.
I didn't know who Iron Man was.
Yeah, Iron Man wasn't the thing. Thor, the Guardians of the Galaxy, nobody knew who fucking Star-Lord was.
Yeah,
Like, I remember, because I've been going to the same comic book store since I was like 8 years old. And I remember when Guardians first got announced as like an idea they were doing. And I remember walking in to get comics, and a couple of old heads were telling me, they're making Guardians of the Galaxy. They're going to fuck this up. They're going to, you know? And because nobody knew who the fuck Guardians was. And nobody knew who Star-Lord was or anything like that. So they knew what they were doing enough to make these obscure characters into a household name. And then Endgame happens. Like you said, there's clearly no real plan. And it's like they didn't establish like, okay, this is who, like, I know the Avengers are technically disbanded if we're looking like at the story wise. Like, they never really came back together except for the Thanos fight at the end of Endgame. But there's no leader of the MCU. There's no person that we can sink our teeth into. Like, all right, this is clearly the guy or gal that's going to lead us forward.
Yeah.
Because for legality reasons, they couldn't do Spider-Man. Chadwick Boseman unfortunately passed away, so you can't do Black Panther.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Not enough people gave a fuck about Doctor Strange.
They talked about doing our boy Pedro, right? About him.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They talked about doing him, and then
way later.
Yeah, but I mean, like they keep. You can tell they don't have a plan.
Yeah.
Right. They keep like, oh, maybe this guy's gonna be the face, you know, and then people are like, we had too much Pedro. Like, well, never mind. We spoke too soon.
Yeah.
And still, who's it gonna be?
He was just getting too nervous, man. His anxiety was kicking up. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do? I mean, I don't know about you, but when my anxiety kicks up, I find the hottest white woman and I start touching her too. All right,
Dude, the memes. The memes, I just, for like that whole, like when Fantastic Four came out, it was like every day, like a new one, you know, where some guy's just like on a plane and just starts grabbing some chick. I'm my anxiety, you know?
Well, it just kills me because I was so against him being Reed Richards because I love the Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. And I was like, he's not going to be the right guy. Like, this is not. But then I saw the movie and I was like, oh, that was actually a great casting.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, I loved it because I don't know, like especially when the public perception of him up until that movie came out was like, we all love Pedro Pascal. He's a great actor, blah, blah, blah. But he was always like kind of the nice guy or like the endearing character.
Right.
And Reed Richards is not endearing. He's an asshole. Like, he puts himself first before his family, him and his work before everyone else. And he often pays the price for that in various degrees. But they showed that in that movie. And I was like, oh yeah, Sue's actually kind of pissed at him because he's putting his work before her, or he's considering giving up the baby. And like, that's great that they showed that. But, you know, combine public perception with Last of Us Season 2, nobody wants Pedro Pascal anymore. So
I think part of that is also just, you know, he's been, I mean, it's just, it goes back to the problem with like, you know, the death of movie stars. Like they're in the public eye too much now. You know,
you think it's because of social media? We see too much of them.
It's, you know, I mean, podcasts, you know, they're just everywhere now.
Yeah.
Like there's no mystery to who the person is that you're seeing on screen anymore, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Because really the last, like, I mean, you kind of have guys like that, like Timothée Chalamet. I would kind of put in that category where you don't know, like, he doesn't go out and do, no, well, he did Theo Von. Never mind. He did Theo Von. Just
Everybody
kidding.
is doing podcasts now.
Yeah.
Like, because that's just, I mean, when I saw Leonardo DiCaprio and was it Benicio del Toro, like, making TikToks together for One Battle After Another.
They made TikToks together?
Yeah. I'm like,
how was that movie?
Man.
I never saw it.
It's got, people acted like it was, you know, the best movie of the year. I think it's pretty good, but I think it's also got a lot of problems. I mean, without spoiling anything, I felt like Leonardo DiCaprio's character had zero effect on the plot.
Because who directed that again?
Paul Thomas Anderson.
That's right. It was a PTA movie. Yeah.
Which I love, Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, There Will Be Blood. That's
Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, the fucking Punch Drunk Love. Mm-hmm. Weird movie, but it's fucking great.
Yeah. Have you seen Magnolia?
No, I have not.
That's a wild one. That one.
John C. Reilly's in that, right?
Yeah. And that's apparently the inspiration behind Weapons. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I loved it.
Weapons was awesome.
I'll be honest, I was fucking not amused for the first like 25 minutes. I remember sitting there like, what the fuck? Can something happen? Like, okay, the kids are missing. What are we doing? And then the second like perspective shift, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
I see what we're doing. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, that movie I liked it. It was pretty wild. I definitely think that, you know, the way that he told it in like those chapters and switching perspectives like that, like I started to hear more and more groans while I was watching it in the theater.
Really?
Yeah, like like it would something crazy would happen.
Oh,
and then
like
all of a sudden
that way.
it switches to the kid, and you're like, oh, But
Right.
the
That's
thing
what
that
you
he
want.
did with the kid,
That's what you want.
but the thing that he did with the kid was crazy.
Yes.
I'd never seen anything like that before.
That fucking scene. I think enough people have seen that movie. We can spoil it. The fucking part in the movie where the kid is sitting at like dinner or whatever, and the parents are in the trance, and the aunt's there. It's like, and she's like, "Watch this crack." They're just fucking stabbing themselves. Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm really excited for Zach Kreger, the guy who did that. He's doing that new Resident Evil movie.
Dude, I'm not holding my breath.
Really? I
think he's great at what he does.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Weapons was great. Barbarian was great. He's great at what he does. We've tried Resident Evil, and I love Resident Evil.
Me too. It's probably my favorite game franchise.
We tried it, man, and it's just not working.
I got faith.
I would love to be proven wrong, but he's also coming out here saying that he doesn't play the games.
No, he said that he's played Resident Evil 4 like half a dozen times all the way through.
Or no. He's saying that he. No, I'm sorry. I'm conflating two quotes. I'm conflating him with the guy who's doing God of War. The God of War guy said he doesn't play the games. Is that correct?
Which, if you're going to be making an IP movie and you haven't played the games, just shut the fuck up. Don't say that.
Yeah, well, well, you should probably have the good grace to not make it because you're going to ruin your career. But he was saying,
go do the homework.
Yeah, or just enjoy the great product. Right. He was saying that he's going to do a new story. That's what he was saying he was doing. But I will say this, now that I'm thinking about it, the one thing that did interest me is I watched an interview with him, is he was saying that he is going to make it in a way a movie has never been made before, and he mentioned something about a camera.
Yeah.
My thought is he's going to make that whole, at least a grand majority of that movie, like the original, like first 3 Resident Evils, where it's a fixed camera and you see everything happening.
It's going to be so good for jump scares.
I hope so, man.
I think that somebody who clearly has that much love for the franchise, give him a shot. Don't I give him the benefit of the doubt. And I mean, it seems like everybody's pretty hyped about it. Nobody's going, he's a terrible choice or anything like that. So
I don't think he's a bad choice. I've been burned too much.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any of the other. I saw the Welcome to Raccoon City one.
I watched. What did I watch a little bit of that? No, I saw like a clip of that on YouTube, and I was like, no, I'm sorry.
It gets pretty bad. But
I can't do. I saw all the Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, I couldn't get into those at all.
I watched every one of them, and I was like, these are
such
all
weird movies.
These are all bad.
They like lean into the wrong aspect of Resident Evil.
Because they were giving like breadcrumbs of what was in the games.
Yeah,
and then they leaned into what people hated about 5 and 6 was all the action. They were action heavy and not story and horror heavy.
Yeah,
and yeah. I mean, I hope it's good. I want good things.
Did you pre-order the new one that's coming out?
No, I do not pre-order games.
I did.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna play it.
A bit of me wants to because I know I'm gonna buy it. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's like I know that I'm gonna buy it because I adore Resident Evil 7 and I liked 8. I know a lot of people shit on it, but I liked 8. I liked it a lot. I finally got around to beating it. This past. Oh yeah, I spent my entire birthday playing that game. Actually, yeah.
I played all the way through it on stream.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a fun one, and they came out with a G Fuel flavor for it.
Nice.
Made blood. It's really good. But I think the problem with that one was it was kind of it was so different than the 7th one, in terms of like execution, that it was almost a detriment to itself in that way. But
yeah,
I like the way that they set up like the way you upgrade weapons and stuff now.
Me too.
And all that. I think 9 is. I hope it goes out with a bang. It's supposed to be the end of this like trilogy.
Well, I just love how they're calling back to the other games and they're wrapping up the whole story, and the fact that at least what we're assuming the main character is going to be is the daughter of the chick from Outbreak. Outbreak is getting love. Are we? I'm way more excited for Resident Evil 9 than I am the movie. But like, are we back? Like, I
hope so.
Oh God, yeah. I hope it sticks to landing. I hope, and because I'm assuming that some of the voices in the trailer were Chris Redfield and Leon. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that was. I mean, I love the fact that at the end of just like in 7. at the end of 8, you get to be Chris Redfield, and you're just massacring all these fucking all these enemies that you've been getting your ass kicked by for the last 12 hours.
They do good DLC too. I found like their DLC is actually worth playing.
I never played the DLC for 8. I played it for 7, where you play as Chris. Mm-hmm. Was it one for 8's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I mean because
he plays the daughter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like it's very mind bendy, which is cool.
Because I know the story of it. It's like you go back and you fight against like the main.
It's like the ghost of the dad, like trying to help you out the whole time. It's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
It's cool. It's worth playing, and it's really short too, so it's not like a huge time investment.
Okay, I'll check it out. Things.
Yeah.
I love Resident Evil as well, but
yeah, that is my favorite. The thing is like I'm very early into my film career, but I have no desire to be touching IPs. If I'm being honest. No, there's too much at stake, man. Too much at stake.
See, I'm the other way. Like, my life is stand-up and podcasting these days, but I'd be absolutely lying if I said I'm not interested still in film. I would love to get my hands on a Batman movie. I would love to get my hands on a Batman. I would love to get my hands on a Nightwing movie or like a Green Arrow movie and do it right. Not that Batman hasn't been done right, but like I have my version of these characters in my head, and I would love to get my hands on that and be a part of it some way.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is that art in general, you can't please everybody. Yeah. It's already a lot against you to begin with, but then to also add on all this like lore and stuff that you have to execute the right way to please the hardcore fans and then also please like the general audience, it's just too hard. Or I will say, at least I know, like if somebody offered me something right now, which nobody's gonna do that, especially but.
Hey, you never know, dude.
I would turn it down. I can't do it. It's too early.
Well, and that's the other thing too.
I need more experience.
Well, that's how Marvel got a few of their directors. They saw they either did short films or they did like one indie movie that was really good, and they're like, "Hey, you come do like." That's how they got the guy to do the guy that did the Spider-Man movies for Marvel, like the Tom Holland ones. Mm-hmm. All he did before that was that cop car movie. I never saw it.
It's a good movie.
But that's the only movie
Kevin
he did.
Bacon's crazy in that one.
Yeah. And then they're like, hey, how do you feel about Spider-Man? Which is insane.
How do you feel about Spider-Man and this stack of cash? And it's like... But I mean, he did a good job. Everybody loves those Spider-Man movies. I think they're crowd pleasers.
They're crowd pleasers.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes, I agree with that. But Far From Home is a tough rewatch.
It feels like a bridge movie.
It's a tough rewatch.
Yeah. I really like that first one. Homecoming. Yeah, the reveal, Keaton's reveal.
Yes.
That was really well done.
Yeah, well, Keaton's a great villain. My problem with that movie, and I think they validated my complaints with that with the third one, was that Peter Parker just like kind of just flows through the movie. Not a whole lot of bad things happen to him, and anything that does happen to him has no real consequences. So then when the third one hits, everything is going wrong.
Well, this guy's not doing any of the new ones, right? But it sounds like we're gonna get more traditional Peter Parker, from the comics.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I mean,
Punisher's gonna be in it.
Yeah, and I think John Bernthal's a great Punisher, man.
Yeah, but dude, I have a cool story about him. I met him
too.
Here in Out.
I met him at the Bullet Train premiere. He stepped on me while he was like walking by, and I'm like, "Who the?" And I look, and I'm like, "Oh!" And he's like, "Sorry, man." And then he's got like his kid, and there's like the bar right there and stuff. But yeah,
that's hilarious. Yeah,
he's a big dude.
Yeah, I met him at the gym back I was like 2014 maybe. I forgot what film he was filming here, but late night at the gym, and he had just gotten announced as Punisher. And I'm a huge Punisher fan, and I was like, hey, "Excuse me, are you John Bernthal?" Like, "Yes, I am." I'm like, "Oh my god!" And he like took like 10 minutes just to like nerd out about the Punisher. And he's like, "Yeah, I just went down to this comic book store. I bought all these books. This is what I'm reading, and this is what I like about the character. And obviously, I can't talk about it, but this is the direction we're going, and I like it." And I remember just being like a little nerdy dork, maybe 130 pounds soaking wet. And I'm just like, if there's one comic you need to read like this run because this is great and this is what, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll read that." And I was like, sick.
You never know, man. That might have helped him out.
Sick, man. Well, it's funny because did you watch the show?
Yeah.
So do you remember the scene? No, it's either in the show or it's in the Daredevil.
Okay.
It's in Daredevil season 2. It's when Daredevil's going to rescue him and he's tied up with the mob guys and he digs into his forearm to get the razor blade out, and he cuts the rope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that part is in because Garth Ennis wrote an amazing Punisher run. He goes like 65 issues. And that part is in that run. I was like, you need to fucking read this shit. It's dirty, it's gory, it's ugly, and it's Punisher. Like, that's what you need
I
to
know
read.
he's talked about how he really took it upon himself to talk about how he wanted to, portray that character. So
it's like, you got to read that shit, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he did, because I think that he's a great Punisher. My only concern is, like, Spider-Man's obviously going to be PG-13.
Yeah, so how does it fit in there, right?
So yeah, how do you do a PG-13 Punisher, especially his version, where he's like blowing off people's heads and stabbing them to death? And
Yeah.
That is the one complaint I have, is like the primal weirdness of it. Like, it's like, I get it, that would be the Punisher, but it's like, that's just interesting. An interesting character choice.
Yeah, no, when he's in like when he's like up on the stand, he's like, I liked it. He's like,
yeah. Oh, that's funny shit. Yeah, so I'm excited for that, but to kind of bring the whole point back together, I think that if superhero movies are going to continue, they need to, and it would probably benefit them in the long run, just so they could focus on the story of it all and not as much on the CG and all that kind of stuff. They need to shrink the budget, focus on story, focus on characters. Not every movie needs to be this $350, $400 million extravaganza that if it doesn't cross the $800 million mark, you start to freak out and start firing people or changing positions or what. You got to shrink the budget. Like, that's why, film studios like A24 are killing it right now, because they're making, and Neon too, they're making these $3 to $15 million movies, and then they rake in, they just have to rake in like 25 million.
Yeah, no, if you look, I remember seeing something came out where it showed, I think it was up to Civil War. It was like their last couple of years of movies, and it showed that, they bet so little on them that all it takes is like one of them to pop off.
Right.
And it pays for like 10 of them.
Exactly. And Civil War made a ton of money, and that one was only, what, 25, 50 million?
I think it was 50.
50? Yeah. It was a phenomenal movie.
I loved it. I mean, I like, gosh, what's his name? The guy who made that. I like his
Alex
style.
Garland?
Yeah, Alex Garland's style. I really like it.
Did you like Men?
Weird ass movie, but it was interesting.
Weird
It
concept.
kept my attention.
Yeah.
That last like end sequence was something. I'll tell you that. They should show that in health class.
Oh wait, because there's like the birthing scene, right?
Yeah,
I've only seen it once.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like an endless cycle of like this vagina monster.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Very strange.
Never seen anything like it.
Like meditation on grief or whatever. Very strange.
Yeah.
But Annihilation is bananas.
It's so cool, man.
I watched that for the first time, but the first time I ever watched it, I was on mushrooms. And
that's one way to see it.
And a lot of mushrooms too. I had no idea what I was expecting. And that last sequence with Natalie Portman
at the lighthouse
with like the void or whatever the fuck that character is, I remember just sitting there like, oh, what the fuck is happening?
And like the shimmer or whatever it's called just looks so cool. You know?
It was surprisingly good adaptation of because I've read the first two books and I haven't read the third in that series, but a surprisingly great adaptation of that book.
I know that in film school they talk about that scene where they're tied up and that like fucked up bear monster comes in and it's like the scream sounds like the woman. That shit, that's nightmare fuel right there, man.
Very well made. But you brought up Warfare. Yeah. Warfare was fucking fun. Did you see that in the theaters?
Yeah. Yeah. Every time they did like a show of force, you know. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Well, there's a lot to appreciate about that movie, but what I appreciate is that you could tell if you had the ear for it. Because again, I don't talk a lot about military service, but like because I was in the infantry, and so like I got to play around and I shouldn't say play around, but I got to use a lot of the weapons that they were utilizing in that film, and so I remember sitting there like, oh yeah, that's an M4, that's a saw, that's a 240. Oh, that's a blah blah blah, and it would change. You could tell what gun was being fired, how far away it was, who was closer to what, and even like the scene where the IED goes off towards like the end of the first act, and how the IED affected the different soldiers depending on how close they were to the blast, and all this the smaller minute
sound design, man.
I'll be paying attention to the Oscars just to see if there's an Oscar for sound design, or what's the Oscar category? Is it sound design or sound mixing?
It's sound design, yeah.
If that's not nominated for that, I don't even know what the conversation is.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many movies, you know, and I think the timing of it, you know, whether the studio pushes to submit it for awards, like there's so many factors, you know.
Well, thank God the Oscar, what's it called? The Oscar like committee actually has to watch all the movies now.
Yeah.
Where up until a year ago, they didn't
everybody
have
has to watch them now, okay?
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, they haven't been this whole time?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the people even said like that they just like hit play so that it shows it like it's been watched, and I'm just like, fuck you for saying that.
Seriously, fuck you. No, because that's insane. The idea that you're going to make these decisions based off of your feeling or the cultural conversation around a movie.
Yeah, and
that's bullshit.
Who wins and who gets nominated has a huge effect on people's careers. You know. But
well, I mean, look at Adam Sandler. When he was making Uncut Gems, and he was like, "If I don't get an Oscar win for this, I'm gonna make the biggest piece of shit you've ever seen." And then following that, Hubie Halloween.
God, what a terrible! I met him too. He was a really nice guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a childhood hero of mine. So
yeah, he's one of the greatest comedians / comedic actors to ever walk the planet.
Yeah, I don't know. That guy does so much too. That guy's always busy.
Yeah, but one of my favorite movies in general is one of his, Funny People.
I haven't seen all of that one.
You have, dude, so good. Now, obviously,
it makes sense that you would be into that, though.
I'm biased, obviously, because of stand-up, but, like, what a great, well-made... That's my favorite Judd Apatow movie, for sure.
Okay.
Like, phenomenally made movie. But, yeah, Warzone, dude, like... Or Warfare, rather. Just amazing movie, and the fact that there's no music at all, the small details about like how much time it actually takes to get gear together, how important gear collection is, and accountability. And then Joseph Quinn just screams for 75% of that movie, and that's horrifying.
Yeah,
like that's probably one of the only movies I've ever seen, certainly in theater, that I've seen where I'm just like, can this fucking end already? Like, can we get out of this situation? But
yeah, it's pretty unnerving.
But you want to feel that way.
Yeah, it definitely wanted to portray warfare in an unglorified way. You know, and yeah, I mean, I'm glad that movie exists.
Same.
You know,
it's probably is it my favorite war movie? It's in the conversation, but I think it's the best one.
I think it's the most realistic.
Yeah.
If that counts for anything, yeah.
It should.
Know? I mean, when Act of Valor came out, I thought that's what that was going to be, and that movie sucked, man.
Yeah.
I was not into it.
Well, because Act of Valor, I enjoyed it when it first came out, but I was also 14. And I've watched it since, and, well, you can tell those are real Navy SEALs because they don't know how to fucking act.
That's the first thing for me.
That's the thing that kind of drags it down. And because it marketed itself in the same way that Warfare did, like this is the hyper realistic whatever, but then you have the stuff like where they shoot the guy at the dock and like the hands are coming up to like lower, like I don't think that's a real thing, or like
it felt too much like Call of Duty.
It did,
you know,
it did. I agree, but yeah, I just don't know, like maybe Saving Private Ryan stands up to
Sorry, it didn't
Warfare.
suck. It wasn't for me.
It wasn't very good.
Yeah,
No.
I respect it because I think that like it's movies like that paved the way for something like Warfare.
Yes.
There is a purpose for it.
Yes. Well, and it paid, the best thing that movie did, Act of Valor, was that it paid respect to the people in the story.
Yeah.
It did a great job at that.
Yeah, I will say that, yeah.
But everything else,
it's just
a bit lackluster.
It was trying to do too much.
Yeah.
I think, you know?
Yeah. But I rewatched last night, actually, because I just got a steelbook of it. I rewatched Full Metal Jacket.
Nice.
What a great fucking movie that is. I mean, Arlie Ermy as the drill instructor is phenomenal. And just how, again, you talk about a movie with atmosphere and tone. The horrible things you're seeing on screen being juxtaposed with the music of the time.
Yeah.
What a great choice that is.
I'm a big fan of Apocalypse Now.
Good
personally.
movie. Good movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but
Yeah.
good movie.
Well, that to me...
Strange movie, but good movie.
Yeah, but it like, there's a... You know, every once in a while a movie comes out and you're like, that was an epic.
Yeah.
You know, that movie feels like an epic. That whole journey, descending into madness.
Yeah.
And then, like... Well, I also have seen the documentary. I can't remember what it's called. There's a documentary about how they made that movie.
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Hearts of Darkness, I think is what it's called. That, I mean, I watched the movie and loved it, and then I watched that and it made me love it even more because it's just, that movie
Look that up.
should have not worked. I think it's like free to watch on YouTube, man. Marlon Brando showed up. They had asked for more money and less shoot days for him, and he shows up and he doesn't even know his lines. And they still managed to pull it off because I think that's Coppola's best film.
And, this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but I couldn't name 5 of his movies. Outside of, like, that and, like, Godfather.
Yeah.
He did 2, right? Or did he just do 1?
He definitely did the first 2.
Okay.
I don't know if he did the third one.
No, I don't think he did. I haven't even seen the third one, to be honest with you.
I've only seen the first 2.
I've heard how terrible it is.
Yeah, I was the first 2 are pretty slow to get through already. I don't know if I'm going to sit through that one too, but people talk bad about it so much.
But we don't really have movies like that's a great way to put like the epic movie. Like Dune, I think is in that category because of how great that was, but we don't have real big epics like that anymore. It's just, for better or worse, franchise IPs. Like, what's the original, like an original idea movie that's come out that's felt larger than life lately?
I mean, everything that I can think of is tied to an IP in one way or another.
Like the first Avatar back in like 2009, 2010, maybe?
And I'm not a huge fan of those, personally.
I haven't seen past the first one.
The second one's more of the same.
I assume so. Yeah, But we don't really have like that, and it's all become a part of make the franchise. Either make the biggest franchise movie possible, or make the lowest unique idea movie possible that's going to yield a lot of money. Like you said, low stakes, low risk.
Silver alert.
Low investment. I'm surprised my work phone hasn't gone off. I don't know where my work phone's at. Oh, well. But that's all it is. There's nothing like... Yeah, it's not that epic film anymore, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean, one of my favorite movies growing up was the first Transformers, because there was an epicness to that, but it's an IP.
Hey, so dude, Megan Fox is hot. I get it. We all loved it.
I mean, it's everything, man. I mean, you got Linkin Park playing at the end credits and just everything about it, man. But yeah, no, Megan Fox, I'm sure, for any man who was in puberty at that time, it was a game changer. But
the car ride home with mom was a little different than when you got in. Did you like the movie?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, so you said your favorite movie is probably Zack Snyder's cut?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, I think so. Because it's hard to put, because I love that.
Mine's The Thing.
Oh, fucking great movie, dude.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite Carpenter movie?
Oh, yeah.
Because
I mean, the first Halloween, I respect the hell out of that.
See, that's my crazy. That's my favorite Carpenter
movie.
Low
budget and just.
But The Thing is so well done, and it's
perfect, man.
The ending's insane. It's subtle and it's great. And
I don't like that he's supposedly working on a second one. I don't like it.
Yeah, he announced.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah, he confirmed that they're making a sequel to it. I just don't understand that. After getting through the last trilogy of Halloween movies, have you not learned your lesson? Truly, have you not learned your lesson? That 2018 Halloween, great.
Yeah, good movie. I agree. That got me so excited.
That's why I got a poster of it. I fucking loved it. That was a great sequel. Leave it where it's at. They burned the guy to death. He might have gotten out. Who knows? That's great. Leave it alone. But we had to do Halloween Kills. We had to do Evil Dies Tonight.
Too much money.
Yeah, and then Halloween Ends was nonsense.
I was rolling my eyes the whole time.
I don't
watching
care.
That one.
I would have, because I appreciate what they were going for. Again, in concept, but I don't know why you had to do a whole new right turn at the last movie in a trilogy, or if you're going to be technical, a quadology, I guess. Technically, if you're including the 78.
Right.
I don't know why you're doing that. Why not put Corey Cunningham in the first in the 2018 and then like hint at, hey,
At least set it up.
hey, there's something wrong with this guy.
Yeah.
It's a little something. But no, it's just we're going to do a Batman and Robin weird serial killer thing.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand.
I respect them, just committing to like an off-the-wall choice.
But set it
was
up.
just, there was no plan.
And there's no Michael Myers in the movie for the first 50 minutes or something like that. The movie's almost 2 hours, so half the movie doesn't have the main guy on the poster.
Yeah, I was going to mention it, but we kind of brushed over it. But I really think that they need to go back to like the old release window. Like movies should come out and only be in theaters. Like that's the only way you can see it for the first 3 months at least.
Yeah, but they're never going to do that because of streaming.
I don't know, because somebody just said that they were going to commit to that again, and I know like the movie theater chains are like begging for it.
Well, I think it was Christopher Nolan that's demanding.
It was a studio head. I know it was a studio head said something about it.
A studio head?
Yeah.
No shit.
And there's been so many new studio heads, I can't tell you who it was.
Yeah, that's very true.
But
that's very true. But I know Christopher Nolan was demanding that, I think, for the Odyssey. That the Odyssey has to be in theater for a certain amount of time, and then because it can't touch a streaming service for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And then I want to say one other director came out and said something about it. I don't know. But
I mean, a lot have been very outspoken. So
that's back to my earlier point about an epic. I think Oppenheimer could get up there.
I agree. The only thing is it's based off a book, right? It's based off of like
book, true story.
A 3-hour talk drama.
Yeah.
And it made that much money. Like that's pretty epic.
and it was a phenomenally made movie.
Yeah. I know there was it seemed like here in New Mexico there was definitely some people outspoken about how they didn't like that it didn't really touch on like how it affected New Mexico. But it's a 3-hour movie called Oppenheimer.
Motherfucker.
So
people that
they got to find a way to,
But people that say that didn't know that the bomb was made here until that movie came out. They are finding something to complain about. I guarantee it.
Well, James Cameron is making a whole he's finally making something other than Avatar. It's supposed to be about Hiroshima, like them going through that over there. Ooh. Oh, Godzilla -1, another IP, but that was epic.
That was great movie.
Yeah, I got an original print of that one next to my desk.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, they're making the sequel to that.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for.
Godzilla -0.
Can't fucking... Oh, such a good movie.
I loved the score in that one. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very well made score. I agree with that. Yeah, great movie. But he's making a Hiroshima movie?
Yeah, apparently.
For real?
It's based off of a book too, so...
Well, there's the book called Hiroshima. It's a tiny...
I think it's called like Ghosts of Hiroshima or something
It's a tiny little paperback. And it talks about the accounts of people that were there for it. Obviously...
It's going to be pretty horrific, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I don't... Does that movie need to get made?
James Cameron says it does.
Oh. You know what? Honestly, the political dork inside of me is saying it does need to get made. The more mainstream media that scares people of nuclear weapons, make more of that, actually.
Yeah,
actually,
I would agree with that.
No, actually make that movie. I totally... Yeah, because I just...
Did you watch that Chernobyl limited series?
I started it, never finished it.
Dude, why not?
I know. No, I know. I've heard it's phenomenal.
That was really eye opening, and I know Russia didn't like that coming out.
Well,
you wonder why?
When you fuck up that big.
But that, I mean, that's one of my favorite.
Well, I don't understand why it's a political statement to say no one should have nuclear weapons. I don't know why that's so political. Like, no one should have them.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, I get that bad actors exist. I know that there's dictators. I know there are evil people that are running their countries right now. I understand that. However, a dictator cannot be a dictator if there is nothing to dictate. Western civilization cannot spread democracy, quote unquote, if there's nowhere to spread it to.
Yeah.
Like, I think the number is something like we have enough nuclear bombs to blow up the earth like 200 times over or something crazy.
Yeah, some crazy number like that, yeah.
What?
Seems a little overkill.
Yeah. Can we not do that? Like, I don't understand why that's... Because you say that, and there are some people that claim they're of rational mind that will hear that and say, well, you're just a pussy. We need nuclear weapons because they have them too. It's like, okay, but what if none of us had them? What if none of us had them? And that was the whole point of Oppenheimer. That last moment between Oppenheimer and Albert Einstein was like, we would create a chain reaction that would destroy the world. I think we did. And then it ends with all the fucking...
Yeah.
Did we not watch that movie together, everyone? I thought we all did.
Apparently everybody did, but, it's, I guess the conversation stops at the Oscars or whatever it is, But...
I guess. But
yeah, no, I mean, I stay away from politics because it doesn't matter what you say. It's such a divisive thing.
Dude,
I know you're really into it.
Yeah, I don't blame. No, trust me. I wish I could turn the political autistic part of my brain off, dude. I wish I could.
Anytime, like when the Charlie Kirk thing happened, there was a lot of people like, oh, well, you got to talk about this. What do you think? And I basically came out and said, look, I'm not going to sit here and entertain either side here. Somebody dying and people celebrating it is wrong. Yeah,
well, that's the most sane take to have. That is the most sane take to have, is say, hey, death is bad.
But there were still people telling me after saying that, like, oh, well, you should have said more than that. You know, it's not everybody thinking this and that, And I'm like, dude, did you not listen to what I said?
And if that's not good enough for them, they're obviously clearly driving home that you need to join a team, you need to join a tribe. And I will say this, and then for obvious reasons, I don't think enough people, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I don't think enough people are saying this about that situation. But like, I saw it both on the internet and in my own personal life where there were people on the starkest, presumably furthest left that you could possibly get that were like, hey, this isn't good. We can't celebrate this. We can't have this happen. This is how we get to further more evil things. Like, I had people in my life that were like anti-religion, hyper left, weren't, the most anti-Trump, anti-right, whatever, that got a hold of me that were like, this is fucking ugly. We can't be celebrating this. We can't proliferating this. This is terrible. So it's on that same token. That is the most sane take to have. And for people to come out and say, well, you need to do more. It's like, well, what else do you want me to say?
Yeah, and I mean, that's the tricky thing about having a following, is that it with great power comes great responsibility, right? You got to be careful what you say. And I too often do I see something like that happen, and I see these bigger creators using that as an opportunity to push their own political beliefs. They make it about themselves, not the situation.
Well, and again, I know you don't want to get too political about it, but and that's happening on both sides. Like, that's happening on the right. Like, people.
Well, I heard you say in a because I obviously coming on a podcast, I'm like, oh, let me check out a couple episodes. I heard you say politically homeless, and I've heard like Rogan say that and stuff. That's how I feel. Yeah. I don't feel like I fit into one group or the other.
Yeah, well, because
they're both kind of crazy.
Well, they're both. I just said on the last podcast I did a couple days ago, I think political parties are fucking gay, dude. Like, I think they're dumb. I think they are that is the top. I don't know if it's the number one, but it is in the top 3 things that is destroying this country. Is people divvying themselves up into tribes and not. Because maybe this is wishful thinking, maybe, but I really do believe that the vast majority of this country is in the middle at this point. I really believe that. Like, I think the vast majority of this country is like, there's some things on the right that I really do agree with. I think we should stick with those. And a lot of things on the right that I think are batshit insane. Yeah. And then on the left, I think there are some things that are either worth sticking with or at least looking into, but they have a lot of shit that is batshit insane too.
Yeah, and I think another part of the problem is that too many people don't know what they're talking about, and they just regurgitate whatever they hear from friends and family.
I used to be that.
I mean, I think everybody's raised in a household where there's political beliefs, and I think everybody has to take it upon themselves to really like dig deep and decide, well, how do I feel about this stuff? Yeah. I shouldn't just repeat things that I hear without actually diving into them and doing my own research.
That's exactly how I was up until October 7th happened. And I heard myself on my own podcast retorting hyper right-wing rhetoric where I thought myself was more of a moderate. Because COVID really woke me up with a lot of other people. And I was like, I'm going to do research this shit. And then when October 7th happened, I was retorting a lot of hyper right-wing things. I saw the response I was getting. I was like, oh, maybe I should look into this a bit more. And I started reading. And I started researching, like, I don't think I'm right about this. I think I'm quite wrong. Oh, and then 2 years later, just the whole rhetoric is flipping, and not rhetoric, but just the discussion around it is flipping. Just and everyone, even my friends that are hyper right wing, they're all like, "Hey, yeah, can we stop funding war? Can we stop doing that? That would be fun. Our country is falling apart.
Yeah.
Can we not do these billions and billions of dollars of aid packages around the world, not just to one specific country, but just in general? Like, can we just not do that?" And you're completely right. People get stuck in their own echo chambers, and they don't, because it's uncomfortable trying to learn or listen to another side of an argument that you are either firmly in your own belief against or you've been told to be against. You know, it's uncomfortable listening to the other side, especially if they might be right. It's like, oh shit, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, nobody wants to be wrong.
Yeah, preferably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's insane, but you're right. I mean, obviously you have a much bigger following than I do, so I could imagine that people are just, when massive world events happen, there's this weird pressure to say something.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, when that happened, it was all I saw on my feed. I had to get off social media and I was like, I'm gonna go play with the kids. This is rough.
Yeah.
I had just gotten back from LA too. I went to Chris Stuckman's. You probably don't know who that is.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
fuck yeah, I know who Chris Stuckman
I was
is.
I was a co-producer on his Shelby Oaks film that just came out. So,
dude,
I mean, I backed it, so that's how it happened.
that's
but
sick. I know, and I knew that was going to come up at some point in this conversation. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it.
I saw a rough cut. Well, it was like, this might be the end of the cut here because we don't have any more money, and then it got picked up by Neon, and I could see how it changed and stuff. It's
What did you think of the rough cut?
I walked out of it and I was like, oh no.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, personally, I was, because I've, look, Chris Stuckman's one of the guys who made me think, oh, it is possible to get into social media, be a content creator and then branch over.
For years.
Yeah, 15 years I've been watching
Jeremy
him.
Johns, yeah.
Yeah. And no, it was, I could see where there was problems. And so when Neon picked it up, I'm like, I wonder what they're going to do with that. And I think they did improve the film a lot. But it's a writing problem, unfortunately.
That's the common denominator that I've heard, is that he has an eye for what he wants his directorial vision to be, but he needs to direct things he's not writing.
Yeah, or at least the next one, go focus on directing, and that was part of what I got to do with this one that I just did, Hunters. It wasn't my original script. We did some rehearsals, and I helped touch up the dialogue and stuff because I'm like, okay, we got to tighten this up because if we're gonna aim for it to be really short and punchy, then we can't have all these run-on sentences and stuff, and dialogue's tough, and but yeah, I would be very curious to see how he would direct somebody else's script because I think he can direct.
This is an open-ended question, but how? I don't even know how to ask this properly. I don't think what is separating you're watching a movie, right? Mm-hmm. And you hear dialogue and your brain just registers it as unnatural. But then you watch another movie and you're like, that's how people actually speak. In the process of actually writing dialogue, how do you get more towards the natural than the unnatural?
Subtext.
Explain that.
When the example I always give people is when people talk about the weather, they don't go, some weather today, huh? No, they go, man, dude, it's pissing rain, huh? It's been pissing rain for a couple days. Now you're like, oh, it's been raining hard for a while. It's not so on the nose. But the other thing is, in real life, people misunderstand each other all the time. And in movies, when people don't, and it's just somebody says I don't feel good. And you're like, oh, you don't feel good? And it's yeah, I ate something bad. That's not interesting dialogue, right? And it's also plays into the showing, not telling. There's a balance between the dialogue and what you're seeing, and there's a term that I hear a lot called pipey, and that's when something's very exposition heavy. It feels like, they're delivering the exposition through a pipe right to your mouth, or right to your ear. But yeah, I would say and it's something I'm still working on myself. Dialogue is probably the hardest thing, because you can write a great script, but people are going to hear the dialogue, right? But then there also is, how the actor takes that dialogue. Some actors like to be very word perfect with the dialogues. Others like to go, okay, I know what the words are, but I'm going to say it naturally how it comes in the moment, which when I act, I tend to do that too.
Is that a good thing? Because I've heard Tarantino talk about that, and his idea on that is very strict. Like, no, I've hired you to say my words. You're going to say my words. And then on the other hand of that, you have actors that are saying what you just said was like, well, I'm going to take this. I know what the point is. I'm going to say most of it, but I'll make it more natural to me. And the way my brain kind of digests that is like, well, I see both sides, but if an actor keeps doing that method where they take the dialogue and make it more natural to them, well, they're not playing a character. They're just going to keep playing themselves in different clothes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a good actor can tell when like they've got dialogue in front of them that shouldn't be touched. You know, it's like, oh, I just need to, if I just do this, this is all making sense already. I don't need to change it and make it make more sense to myself. But there are those, actors out there like McConaughey, right? Where it's like, yeah, I mean, you hire him because he's McConaughey, he's going to do something with it, and run with that character. So, I mean, it all comes up to the director. And I mean, that's probably why Tarantino isn't hiring McConaughey to be in his movies, because he knows that he's not that kind of actor.
Right. How do you feel about Wes Anderson's movies?
Loved Grand Budapest. Moonrise Kingdom I thought was cool. And then the one that just came out, the one with Benicio del Toro was decent.
I haven't seen,
the Phoenician Scheme.
The Phoenicians. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's worth a watch for.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it goes on a little too long, but I think ever since Budapest, he's had a hard time following up that.
Okay.
That movie felt kind of epic.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Budapest. That's a fun movie.
Like the movies of his that I've seen is Tenenbaums. Started but didn't get to finish Isle of Dogs.
Is it Moonrise Kingdom? Is that the name? I don't know.
You're close. I know it's the one where the alien shows up.
No, that's Asteroid City.
Asteroid City. I saw that one. And then no, Moonrise Kingdom is a movie though.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of the wrong name, but it's like the Cub Scouts or whatever it is. That one.
So Moonrise Kingdom. Oh my goodness. So it is a Wes Anderson movie. Yeah, it is a scouting camp.
Okay, so I got the name right. Okay, cool. Yeah, that one's fun. It's quirky.
I haven't seen that one yet. Interesting.
I haven't seen Royal Tenenbaums or Bottle Rocket or great. I haven't seen that the submarine one with Bill Murray. I haven't seen that one either. The
Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Yeah.
I saw that a while back.
I mean, his movies are a little weird, but
it's just I just ask about that because of the dialogue itself.
Yeah.
I feel
did I explain it well enough? Like, I mean, I
no, you did.
Like I said, it's something I'm still learning too.
No, you did for sure. And the reason why I think about Wes Anderson, other than the obvious, because his movies have a very certain cadence, I just feel like with his movies, it's either hitting right on the nose, or it's so full of itself that it almost comes off as like pretentious.
That's a good word to describe it.
Or it just gets like driven, or it's like you're clearly playing to your audience, which I respect. I totally get it, but like too much of this is too much of this.
Well, yeah, and I think it all comes down to personal taste and style, and I think that's why some directors stick out more than others. I mean, not for nothing, Drive, like the fact that there's so many moments in that movie where it's just like looks and stuff, like things are said without saying them.
Right.
There's an art to that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think general audiences have gotten pretty good at spotting bad dialogue at this point,
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
One subject I want to go back to is Flick's Brewhouse.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah, Flick's Brewhouse. So I understand the appeal.
Mm-hmm.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
Totally understand the appeal. So many distractions, I think, in a theater can take away from the theater experience. Like, I'm still not convinced I enjoy the reclining seats in a theater.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I've got like a lazy boy sectional at my house. Like I try to mimic that.
But the home experience is different.
Yeah.
Like, I think the less distraction, like you want to be comfortable watching a movie, obviously, but I don't think you want to be too comfortable. Like I remember when I went and watched Weapons, we went and watched it at Icon.
I haven't been to that one.
It's fine. The popcorn's good.
Not iconic.
Yeah, it's really not. Hey, you know what? Not for nothing. The movie fucking starts on time. So there's something.
Like the trailers are...
The trailers are like before. So like if a movie starts at 7:20, it's starting at 7:20. Like the actual film itself is 7:20. Trailers and...
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, trailers and bullshit are like 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. But when I first went to Icon, like they have reclining seats, but their reclining seats almost hit 180 degrees.
Yeah, that's too much.
Like that's a bit much.
But you can set it to what you want, right?
Yes, but I don't want the first thing that I sit down and be like, ooh, I could take a nap. I don't like that. And you want to be comfortable in a theater. It's almost like with watching stand up. You want to be comfortable in a dark room, packed in with a bunch of people, but you want to be alert. Like you don't, and you want zero distractions. You don't want to worry about the people next to you. You don't want there to be a ton of sound next to you. You don't want there to be, and certainly like there's like a bunch of waiters and shit walking around. Like I just want there to be, like I remember the last time I went to a Flicks Brewhouse setting was a while back. I think it was like with Rogue One when that came out.
Okay.
And I just remember thinking like there are just a bunch of fucking people walking around. Like,
I personally, they must, because the first time I went to Flicks was probably like a year and a half ago. I think they've done a lot. I mean, I have done some behind the scenes content with them.
Yeah, I've watched it. Yeah, I've watched it. Yeah.
Because I was curious myself, like, how's this all like, working? Because I worked at the movies in high school, They'd never hire me.
Dude, I applied to like 3 different movie theaters in town. They never fucking hired me.
It's weird, man. It's like almost like working at the movies. There's a gatekeeper to that too, because I had to know like a manager to get hired.
Yeah, they never hired me, and Dion's never hired me. Just didn't happen. I was an unlikable little fuck, I guess. I don't know.
I feel like we could do a whole nother episode on just like you filling in like the things I need to know about Albuquerque, because you're born and raised from here,
yeah.
right? So.
But anyways, you were saying that, so you do the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, like I think they've kind of learned, okay, like if we're gonna have these waiters coming in delivering food, like we got to make sure they're trained to like duck down and do everything very like. Sometimes like I'll see them like leave now, but I didn't see them pass, and I'm like, oh, I didn't see them the first time go by and stuff.
Right.
So they've gotten better. The one that I go to, they don't have recliners. So, but like the new one that just opened up has recliners, but they don't fully recline 180. It's like just the leg rest.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, no, I mean, when I was in San Francisco, I used to drink a lot when I was in the military. So
yeah, understandable.
My buddies were always wanting to go grab a beer and see a movie, and so being able to do that at the same time is just nice.
So I like that. I like that a lot. And there was, funny enough, the only movie theater I think that I've been to that sold beer that wasn't like a Flicks Brewhouse setting was the theater on Fort Bliss. You could get beer in the theater.
That's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because we were there for our pre-mob, and they gave us the day to like go do whatever on base, but they're like, you can't drink. And we were like, so we got fucking sloshed. But yeah, I was able to get a Budweiser before we went and watched Zombieland 2.
Okay.
That had come out. Yeah. Not very good.
It was okay.
Yeah, not very good. But the Garfield gag at the end was funny. Yeah, we got a beer before. We got a beer. We were able to take it into the theater, so that was nice. Like, I'm all for drinking during the movies. Like, that's fine. But like a full menu with waiters, and it's just, I don't know. It's interesting to me.
Yeah, no, I think obviously, if somebody's like hitting the button every 5 seconds, then that can get annoying. But it seems like most of the time that I go now, like, they tell you, they're like, try to show up like 20-30 minutes early so you get all your food before the movie starts and stuff like that. So they're definitely trying to make it a smoother experience.
Do they have like a premiere screen at all, like a bigger than normal, like an IMAX or like a whatever?
No.
Okay, so it's all standard screen.
Because I think they just we're the first city to have 2 of them.
We are.
Yeah.
No shit.
The new CEO, I met him. He's actually from Albuquerque. So
oh wow,
that's pretty cool. They were like, yeah, let us know when you got a movie coming out. Do your premiere here. And I'm like, fuck yeah. All right, man.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll get you in there. But yeah, like it's. I mean, you said you saw like Rogue One. That was
it was like over 10 years ago.
It was a new concept at that point. I think they said they're the first like true cinema brewery experience. You know,
and, which I appreciate. Like, I'm not trying to shit on them too much.
No,
I love they're doing it.
I'm curious because it's and I think it's a new concept. I do think it's the future of movie going. You know, if they're gonna keep people going to the movies, they got to like elevate the experience. It's got to be better than being at your house.
Well, in all fairness, you are correct because there are movie theaters across the country right now that are opening that are like trying to bring back like arcades, or they have like a bowling alley in it.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like how much time can we keep people at the theater and generate revenue? Because I remember like, when was it? It was maybe around like 2015 or 26, maybe 2014, 2015. When they started scaling down the movie theater seat size, the amount of seats you can pack into a theater traditionally. That's why, like, I remember being like, that was a big reason. Like, they did replace regular seats with recliners, so it's more comfortable. But it was like, we just can't pack all these people into the theater anymore. And then obviously COVID just stunted everything.
That was, I mean, I saw Tenet during COVID.
Yeah.
And I remember we were trying to like pick our seats, and we're trying to pick the middle, and there's somebody else there, and it's like, oh, you got to have so many gaps between seats because COVID.
Insane,
like, man, this is no wonder it's like struggling right now. But
well, I mean, not for nothing, dude, but thank God for Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
that dude, like, instrumental in.
Did you hear about how that all worked out?
Yeah, how he like just kept lying to people. Yeah, what a gangster.
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna question Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we're filming our movie. Oh, you're gonna film this? Okay, yeah, now we'll film ours.
Yeah.
Well, then that I wouldn't even call it a meltdown, but like the yelling incident that happened on set during what was it, Mission Impossible?
Yeah. I think it was like the first Dead Reckoning or whatever.
Right.
It was,
Yeah. Again, yeah, totally justified.
Yeah.
Like, if we fuck this up, no one makes movies.
I mean, out of context, it's like, whoa, dude's pretty heated on set. Like, that's kind of scary. But no, I mean, he was right. Like, everybody was looking at them. Like, if they can do it, then things can open back up. And I was on the other end of that, sitting there waiting to go be a PA, you know?
Yep.
And, I mean, COVID definitely changed a lot of things, you know? I do think that when we look back at history, it's pre and post COVID is a big moment. Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, aside from like the wealth transfer and all of that, it's just the way that businesses operated and how, well, it's just like you still have people wearing masks and like in their cars. I see it. I'm like, dude, I think we're okay.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I'm scared, like, what it's going to be like if, because it probably will happen again at some point, right? There's going to be another pandemic.
Well, the odds of it happening, I wouldn't even say a pandemic, but just the odds of another government lockdown like that aren't zero. Not anymore. Like, the odds have gone up. And I think that really was a huge Turing test for the country. Where it's like, well, how quick or how easily, obviously this is the conspiratorial side of my brain a little bit, but how easily can we get a people to submit to this flavor of authoritarianism? And yeah, I mean, just if you were to tell people 10 years ago that there would be a period of time where Americans are going to turn on their TV, they're going to watch the legacy media, and they're going to figure out from their governor, from the president, if they can go to a funeral, if they can go to the movie theater, if they can go to a wedding. Like, it's...
Dude, I was in ground zero. San Francisco was the first city to go on lockdown.
Yep.
And I was delivering COVID tests to like the cruise ships and stuff around there.
I forgot all about that.
One of the last flights I did was escorting like the USS Mercy into the LA or into the San Francisco like pier area or whatever. It was either that or LA, one of them. But like I remember like it was just like this is crazy. Like, and people were like, "You're getting out right now? The world is ending." And they were literally like, there was a senior chief who told me, I think I could talk to them and get you like a 6-month extension. And I'm like, dude, I want the fuck out right now. Like, I'm not trying to stay in. For the last year, I've been planning getting out. I sold my Mustang,
What Mustang did you have?
I had a 2012 5.0.
Nice. I had a little. It wasn't anything too impressive, but I loved that. I had a little V6 convertible. And I fucking loved that thing.
I got a 2024 EcoBoost right now.
Nice.
And at first I was hesitant, but the new generation, I mean,
are they nice?
Mid 4-second with that little engine, and it shifts faster than people with the stick can. So
nice.
Yeah, and I get 22 in the city and 33 on the highway, so no complaints there.
Is it a V6 or a V8?
No, it's a 4-cylinder.
Oh, it's a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's an EcoBoost. Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
Hey, as long as you love driving it, who gives a fuck?
dude, I bought it because there's a movie I wrote about the Coast Guard, and it's kind of like playing into like, you know, what I went through.
Okay.
And so you know, that's kind of like a stereotypical thing. The military guy's got the sports car, right?
Yeah, you got
the muscle car.
You get your Mustang, you get the Camaro, and you get it at a nice 24% interest rate.
Gosh.
From the fucking sleazy car dealerships that are right next to the base.
Yeah, no, thankfully I never got talked into that, you know, but
I'm sure a lot of your buddies did.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when I went to A school, I remember cuz I had just gotten my 5.0. There was another guy, he had I think it was a V6 Challenger, right? And he's like, "I'll let you drive mine if you let me drive yours." And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" You know, and I'm like, "Man, this car is too heavy for this little engine," you know? And then I'm like, "How much did you pay for this thing?" And he's like, "Oh, I got a good deal, man. You know, $46,000, 13% interest rate or some crazy thing, you know?" And I'm like, "God, man."
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Jesus Christ.
You know? These guys join the military and they're just like, you know,
they think they have infinite money.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good gig if you know how to like manage your finances and stuff. You
Which
know?
a lot of young privates don't.
No, I mean, it's a pretty crazy thing if you think about it. You know, you're not even old enough to drink, and they're like handing you a gun. Yeah. You know, like it's and I mean the Coast Guard specifically. Like I don't know a whole lot about the other branches, but I know that they tend to be you either fix or you fly, and I did both. So I had to work on the helicopters that I flew on.
Yeah.
And my buddies were flying on the helicopters that I was working on. So it was, you know,
imperative.
Took it very seriously, you know, you didn't want to fuck anything up. But yeah, it's a lot of responsibility for, you know, a 20-year-old or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because a lot of people, they get into jobs like that where you're handling hundreds of thousands, not millions of dollars worth of equipment and blah, 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 blah. And it works out for a lot of people. I mean, not for nothing. It does work out for a lot of people, and a lot of people succeed in it. But, I mean, then you have incidents where, like, you know, that lead to training incidents. It lead to the training deaths and so on and so forth. But,
yeah, I heard you talking about that with...
Johnny.
Yeah, news guy Johnny, right?
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. The idea that a manned 50 cal will shoot over a tower.
And then his fucking superior's like, "Oh, you guys just say this."
Are you surprised?
No, but like, you know, good on him for actually like doing the right thing.
No,
you know?
He did the right fucking thing because Jesus Christ, dude. Like we never had training incidents like that. Like we had a couple guys just get injured through like different like mountain lanes and stuff, like shit like that will just happen. But thankfully we never had anybody that got like shot or got injured. Like it was pretty, because one of the bright spots of my time in the Guard was like a lot of our guys that were like the senior NCOs or like a couple of the officers, they had actually been in the active duty units. They had seen combat. They like knew what they were doing, and they're very passionate about what they were doing. So that was a positive. Got a lot of good training out of that. But yeah, I mean, you just hear fucking horror stories out of like Ranger School or out of just the traditional Army where just shit goes down, and it's like, what are you gonna do?
I qualified for sniper school right before I got out because I was not sure. For like the last year, I was kind of weighing my options because they'll send you to Jacksonville and you'll shoot out the drug runners' engines. And because that's what I did for the first year was counter narcotics.
No shit.
And that was pretty crazy, man. Because we'd be out there in the middle of the ocean, you know, no land for like 50 miles or whatever it is, and there's a C-130 circling, and we're trying to like set ourselves up, and you know they'll drive their boats with the drugs on them and get spooked, and then we'll kind of like set a trap so they're gonna go right, you know, towards you and stuff like that. I want to write like a Coast Guard Cloverfield horror movie like that where there's like a sea monster out there or something. Dude, you know.
I want to hear the rest of this story, but just Talk about a failed franchise. Holy shit.
Cloverfield?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I did really enjoy 10 Cloverfield Lane, but
Same.
Cloverfield Paradox just
Dog
totally
shit.
ruined it.
But
yeah.
anyway, so you guys would like set up traps and...
Yeah, no, and we would have the helicopter on the back of the boat, and once we like knew they were coming right towards us, we'd launch the helicopter, they'd go shoot out the engine, and then we'd take all the drugs.
That's
you know?
fucking sick.
Yeah, and I was actually the one that was usually driving the boat during those operations, because towards the end of that tour that I was doing at that station, I was one of the more senior people, you know, and I was like the master helmsman or whatever they called it. So I would be the one driving while the helicopter's taking off and doing its thing, and lots of late nights, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That would make for a great movie, dude.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Coast Guard is not talked about enough, if I'm being honest.
Well, The Guardian, that came out in
2006.
Yeah. And that was Ashton Kutcher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget who the other guy was.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie. But yeah, dude, Cloverfield is one of my favorite monster movies.
Yeah, no, Cloverfield's awesome.
I adore that movie. Great concept. One of the rare found footage movies that actually works and works well. But yeah, just 10 Cloverfield Lane was a great idea. I'd say
didn't need to be a Cloverfield movie.
Did not need to be a Cloverfield movie. What I will say, what I loved about Cloverfield as a franchise was the viral marketing, like the internet marketing.
Yeah.
That was like, I went deep on that with like the
slushy.
The slushy brand and the satellite company. Oh fuck, what was it called? Tarascu or whatever the fuck it was.
Something like that.
I don't remember, but like, because like.
Well, funny enough, it was the first Transformers when they showed that first little snippet where it was just the Statue of Liberty head flying down the street, and it didn't say what it was.
Yep.
It just had the date, and everybody's like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
You know. And I remember like going home and hopping on the family computer, going, "What is this movie?"
Yeah, same.
You know. Yeah.
And like what in 10 Cloverfield Lane, the company that John Goodman works for, John Goodman, right?
Yeah.
That's his name? Yeah. The company he worked for was the same satellite company, but he had got fired and he stole all the files and became like a conspiracy nut.
I didn't know that. I didn't do as much of a deep dive on that one.
Yeah, he like worked for that same company that was in cahoots with the slushy company that the dude from the first movie was moving to Japan to work with, and it was this all interconnected thing. And then Cloverfield Paradox was dog shit.
Well, Cloverfield Paradox was not supposed to be a Cloverfield movie, right?
It was supposed to be the God Particle.
Right.
Initially.
And then they slapped Cloverfield on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it made no sense. And yeah,
there's people still saying that they're working on a true sequel to that first one. But it's not going to be found footage.
Well, I chalked that up to Guillermo del Toro saying that he's got this project and this project and this project that he's always working on, and he never does any of those, but then he does Frankenstein. Now, I haven't finished Frankenstein yet. I'm going to finish it tonight after this podcast. But the movies,
that one felt kind of epic.
The movies he makes are amazing. Don't get me wrong, but he never like completes the movies he keeps talking about.
Yeah, well, I thought it was Matt Reeves who said like, yeah, no, or maybe it was Drew Goddard. Sorry,
no, it was Matt Reeves.
Was it Matt Reeves? One of them said like, yeah, no, we have been working on it. We're just trying to get the pieces right. But
yeah, we'll see.
It's been too long.
It has been, and it doesn't have the name brand recognition that it used to.
They've ruined it. Yeah.
Well, and that movie, it's actually really good. Overlord. That was supposed to be a Cloverfield movie.
Yeah.
But then they're like, no, we're not going to do it. J.J. Abrams will produce it. But that was a great movie.
Yeah, it was really fun.
A Nazi zombies movie, that's the closest thing we're ever going to get.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Yeah.
Good movie, but yeah, I wish they would I wish they figured it out when they had the opportunity to, because that was a great idea. But what are you going to do, man?
Yeah.
What are you going to fucking do?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gearing up to make this first feature.
Yeah, I do. As I want to dive in on that before we wrap up. What stage of that are you in?
I just delivered a second draft to my producers.
Okay.
So they're reviewing it, and then we're gonna start shot listing it and getting the schedule together, and we're gonna do it. I'm aiming to have a $60,000 budget.
Fuck yeah.
Don't know how much is gonna be my own money, but I'm gonna do it. And it is a spooky, like haunted house family drama, but it's not a family movie. It's definitely there's like weed and stuff like that. There's mature vibes. It is like I'm pushing the PG-13 rating as far as I can. Because, coming from a social media audience like this, I want everybody to be able to see it.
Yeah.
But I want it to have that emotional punch that you get from like a rated R drama.
My question is specifically with like the PG-13 stuff and then with the budget you're talking about. Are you hoping that this goes the route of Shelby Oaks in the respect that it does get picked up by like a Neon or it get picked up by a I don't want to say like a lower studio, but like a studio that makes the independent movies? Is that the hope, or are you just like I'm focused on?
I kind of have a plan A, B, C kind of thing going on, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go make the best movie I can. I know that the people that I'm working with can make a movie. I feel confident in the script that I wrote. I've gotten really good feedback about it. And when people tells me, like, hey, this part, there's something here like needs to be fleshed out more, or something's not quite working, I'm like, good. Tell me anything that you think, because like I think that in order to make a good movie, you got to start with a good blueprint, right?
Yeah.
Too many movies start with like a script that's not finished, or they're changing it while they're filming.
I mean, that's what's going on with Doomsday, apparently.
Well, Shelby Oaks, I know that when they set out to make that, they originally thought they were going to have a $250,000 budget. All of a sudden, they got like $1 million, and so they have to decide, okay, what can we include? And then like, there's things that he's dreamed of putting in the movie that he still can't do it, and Neon allowed him to do some of that, but it still feels like a half-baked movie at times because of that.
I heard there's like hellhounds. Is that true?
Yeah. And yeah,
I applaud him for getting out there and doing it, dude.
He put his money where his mouth was. I mean, there's so many people that
just talk shit,
sit on the sidelines,
you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I think that he kind of maybe stumbled a little bit by shifting to like not talking about movies he didn't like, because then people are like, is it because you don't want people to talk bad about your movie? And
I had the same thought.
I think that's something that's got to go through any filmmaker's mind, that people are going to just be shit all over their passion project, but that's part of it. There's people who start out with bad movies, but they learn from it and the next movie's a hit.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I know that I have a lot of limitations with this one, and so there's not going to be crazy stunts, and I'm not trying to make a movie that's I find that there's and him included, there's an interesting pattern where all these content creators turned filmmakers are trying to make the scariest movie possible. And
well, do you think that's just because horror tends to lend itself to low budget, where you can get away with a lot more?
Horror is definitely a movie where people are willing to forgive low budget.
Yeah,
well, if it's executed right.
Fucking last House on the Left, dude. That movie was made on like $38,000.
Yeah,
if that, and granted it's a cult following movie, but
yeah, I've never seen it, but
you should watch. It's
Is it black and white, or is that just the poster?
No, it's the poster. It's Wes Craven's first movie.
Right. I like The Hills Have Eyes.
It's a rough watch. I will say that. It's a rape and revenge movie.
That's right.
It's a rough watch. But especially since you are a filmmaker, there's a lot to love there. Like,
yeah,
genuinely,
and I mean,
there's a lot to love.
That's the tough thing that I find myself running into, where it's like I can go work on a script, or I can go watch 20 movies that somebody's been telling me I have to watch as a filmmaker. So I will put it on my list as one of the ones that it's got priority.
It's worth it, especially it's the definition of guerrilla filmmaking, without a doubt, and it's how much can you really stretch a shoestring budget.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing, is that I think nowadays the technology has gotten so good that you don't have to have a huge budget to tell a good story. Mm-hmm. And so that's all I'm trying to do, is tell a story that makes people feel something.
That should be the goal, yeah.
There are scares in it, but it's not like, oh my gosh, that jump scare got me. It's like there's emotion behind it, You care about how these characters are going to react to stuff because there's emotional stakes to it. So it's a drama first and foremost. It just happens to be a ghost story at the same time. That's
good. That's what you want to hear, first of all, because I think some of the best movies are like it's really a insert primary genre that happens to have
Signs is probably my biggest inspiration.
Fun things. That's a great movie.
Yeah,
it's a great movie, and
that's an alien movie that's not about the aliens.
Exactly. It's like for me, dude, like what's it called? Like the first season of The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
For me, that's a 6-hour zombie movie, but it's really a study on characters and humans that happens to take place during the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Much in the same vein as like the original Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
That's really about...
I love the first Night of the Living Dead, man.
It's really about race relations, and it's about how humans interact under stressful circumstances, but the stressful circumstance happens to be people are coming back to life from the dead.
Yeah, and I mean, how do you feel about this? I find that character-driven movies stand the test of time.
Yes, for sure.
More than other ones.
Well, one of my favorite movies, period, is Spotlight with Mark Ruffalo and
that's a good
Keaton.
movie.
That's one of my favorite movies because it's like, yes, they're dealing with a heavy subject of
Yeah.
pedophilia and the church and all that, but just the way the characters are handling it and the way they're interacting.
Feel the weight of it.
I mean, that scene with Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
It's like, it's time. Like, that's one of my favorite scenes of all fucking time. So, like, that movie, like, and a very common answer to this type of question is, like, Whiplash. Where that is a study on a kid, like, how much do your dreams mean to you? What are you willing to sacrifice for it?
Pursuit of greatness,
Yeah, how hard are you willing to work for it in the face of X, Y, and Z? But he just happens to be a musician. It could be about anyone else.
Yeah.
So, but I completely agree that, because if you... I mean, there are movies, and it doesn't necessarily make them less valuable. Like, there are movies where you're supposed to turn your brain off and enjoy.
Yeah.
And those have their place, and they're great, and I enjoy them a lot. But the movies that grip people and, like you said, stand the test of time are the ones where you're invested in the actual characters, and you want to see how they handle situations. You want to see how they handle adversity. How do they come together? How do they break apart? All that. It's how can you get attached to people? And especially because a movie needs to turn the part of your brain off that's telling you it's fake.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what you're talking about earlier, like immersion and tone and atmosphere. It's like I think a great example of that is Seven. I fucking adore that movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like you are so attached
You're just locked in.
Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman to when the big climax happens. It was like, well, if Brad Pitt has this understandable crash out where he opens a box and it's his wife's decapitated head, and he doesn't know that she was pregnant, and she's getting told that she was pregnant in the
Morgan
moment.
Freeman's like, he got you. I know, like he's like, don't do it, but fuck, I know you're gonna do it because I would too. Like, I get it.
Would.
Yeah, no.
But if he does
and
it's
a cliche story. You know what I mean? Like the rookie cop with the veteran cop who's about to retire, but it's just Fincher made it about the characters. Mm-hmm. You know, and like unspeakable evil. You know, that is an evil thing that guy's doing.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, it takes a real unhinged evil guy to portray that the way that
Kevin Spacey does.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey did, man. I mean, gosh, that is they just re-released that too. And I think wasn't that like his follow-up to Alien 3 or something? He went from like Alien 3 and it's like, I'll show you guys I can make a good movie.
Well, that was clearly a movie made by studio though. Very clearly.
Alien 3? Yeah, but I mean,
am I saying he was the right suit for it? No.
No, but I'm sure that, you know, if you put 100 filmmakers in that situation, like 90% of them are gonna be done. They're gonna throw in the towel after something like that happens to them.
Well, because that's the one where they make Ripley a clone, right? Or is that the fourth one?
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I think
the fourth one is the one with the clone.
Yeah, okay, the fourth one is. Okay.
But the third one is where she like has the bald head and everything, and no, I think he got fired like 3 times making that movie.
Yeah, not a good.
But he still
movie.
finished it, which shows the commitment to like, you know, seeing it through.
Yeah, but no, you're completely. It's the characters that. I mean, again, the Snyder Cut, dude. Like, there's a whole arc in that movie about Cyborg. Cyborg is the heart of that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, I mean, one of the many contrasts between that and the Justice League, the Joss Whedon version. But like, it shows you how much can change in a movie when you focus on characters and not spectacle and not action pieces and the CGI and the nonsense of it. Focus on your characters. And you're talking about how horror movies being low budget, you can kind of get away with a lot more, people can forgive more. I would apply that with movies that have well-written characters. Is that if the characters are great, you can the more invested you are in them in the story, you can just suspend your disbelief a bit more. And you almost you can almost, if your movie calls for it, you can almost encourage the audience to suspend their disbelief more because they want to see it through. And if this is what it takes, and this is what it takes, all right, whatever.
Well, Pollo Loco, I think on paper, like reading it, I remember going into that one thinking, is this going to be too corny? Like, is it going to be too corny for people to... But I really made it about balancing that atmosphere and the characters, and I remember there was a festival, I think it was called like Wild Sound, where they literally send you like a video where they have like the judges talk about what they thought about your film. And a lot of it was like nerve-wracking clicking play on that, because you're like, oh man, these people, like, they're gonna like lay it into me if they didn't like it.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were saying that like it was creative and that the actors made it matter, and I'm like, that's really cool, because like I'm gonna be honest, like, trying to like act and direct at the same time for the first time was like a lot to juggle, and I wrote my character to be very like monotone, kind of like, the silent type, very much like, Drive, where like he just doesn't say much, but when he does, you're like, oh shit, what is he about to do?
Yeah.
And I think that one taught me like, okay, like people will forgive that, but the dialogue does matter, like you can't, like, if this was a feature, I don't think it would have sustained itself to the end with the kind of dialogue I wrote with that one.
Well, I kind of want to see. Well, I mean,
I've got plans, man. I've got
I
plans.
want to see what happens next. This old boy. I will say, I think my only complaint about that short film is that I was like, well, if there is a twist, it's gonna be that this dude was fucking the wife too. But it didn't go that far. Is that he knows about it,
and it's kind of ambiguous. Where you're like, huh, how involved was he?
Yeah,
what did he know?
Right.
And
I kind of want to see what happens next, and that's where you start having the conversation of like, does it add more to it that the solution is in your brain?
My plan was always, if we were going to continue that story, it's that whoever is the replacement for Spider, right, is also going to get at my character, because it's like almost like he's trying to replace him, because he betrayed him. So like this new character that's kind of being brought up to replace Spider is. Well,
I thought that would be your character replacing Spider.
No, my character,
because you're getting directed.
We already
at next.
have like we've been kind of like this molded family together from childhood, right? That was like the whole, like, the grandma took him in because his parents died. But then when he betrays them like that by like not letting them know that this thing was happening, and it blew up in their faces, right? Because now they got to like kill this guy, and it's a problem for everybody. Can he ever trust him after that again? And so like when they start, kind of bringing this other guy up into like the drug scene, it's like,
oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Like okay, now he's the character that I played feels threatened by the fact that he's getting too close to this new guy, and it's like, is he gonna off me?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So I have kind of like a storyline I had planned out there. And
I like that.
It is kind of like a tragedy.
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's go check it out. I think it's almost to like 500,000 views.
It is, yeah.
Which is pretty cool to see, because like I thought I went into that thinking like no festival's gonna take it. Nobody's gonna like it. It's too long. It's too dramatic. It's too. It requires some suspension of disbelief. With the situation and stuff. It's almost soap opera-y at times.
Well, I mean, but it also kind of leans into it a bit, which I like.
I did lean into it, so that's good that it.
What awards did you end up picking up on the circuit for that?
Oh man, for everything. It was like awards here and there for everything. One of the coolest ones I got was I won Best Supporting Actor at a festival that Tom Holland won Best Actor at. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, because I guess his brother made a short film. But yeah, no, writing, sound design, the score, directing, best ensemble,
good shit,
all kinds of stuff, man. The whole film got recognition, which was pretty cool, and. Yeah, no, it was really encouraging. I'm like, okay, like if that's me, like basically like my film school, I got to stick with it. I got to keep honing the craft. I got to, be like, okay, what worked, what didn't. It's on Letterboxd, so I read like, anytime somebody reviews it, I'm like, oh, what'd they think, and it's cool to see people are like, I've watched it 10 times and this is what I think now, and it's interesting that they even think it warrants that many watches.
Nice.
But yeah, Hunters is it's 14 minutes. It's very punchy. It's another crime film. I think that's why they wanted me to do it. And we shot it all out in Tejeras, New Mexico, in the wilderness. I don't want to spoil anything, because it's a shorter film, so it's too easy to give stuff away. But hopefully the trailer makes you go, huh, what's going on here?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and I mean that was really interesting because I worked with Triple Tone, which is a post-production sound house here. Jason Wolf, great guy. He taught me a lot about sound design on this one, and he gave me like the separate tracks for like dialogue, score, and like sound effects. So that trailer was me kind of like, okay, let me see you like bringing in like the crickets and all that stuff, and then like the dialogue and the score.
There was an ambiance to it that I really enjoyed, and because I feel like when you're making short films, you need to do your best, unless you're leaning into it for some, which you can, I'm sure. But when you're making a short film, you need to separate the distance from this is a project to no, this is something you take seriously.
Yeah.
And I think in a way that you do that is you get all the little things right that like people just kind of don't recognize when they watch movies. Like, oh yeah, I'm watching a professionally made movie, blah, 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 blah. So the more little things like that you have in a project, the more it falls into the camp of, no, this is a professionally made thing that is made to be taken seriously. And those, again, cricket sounds, the score, it's only like 59 seconds long, but the way the characters are interacting and talking to each other and the way they're presented, it all like comes together to be a professionally made, like this is a real package. Like this is going to turn into something. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, it was really interesting how it worked out, cause I was trying to get another feature made, and, there was some rumblings from some production companies that they were thinking about picking it up. But the fact that I was a first-time director for a feature and I wanted to act in it and edit it and all of that.
Right.
They're like, maybe come back if you've done another one first, And I'm like, okay.
They want a real proof of product.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just go do one myself then, if that's really what I got to do. You know what I mean? Without a production company funding it. And so I'm working with the Marcotte brothers. They're also making this vampire film that they've been working on for a while, and that needs a big budget. So I'm like, hey, this could kill two birds with one stone. We both make a feature together. You guys handle all like the technical side. I handle like the directing.
Yeah.
I'm acting in it. I'm going to edit it, produce it, all those things that I want to do for this bigger one. And I also plant some seeds of like, there's some Coast Guard stuff in there with the character, and like, there's things that's almost like,
and this is with your big feature.
This is Around Midnight is what it's called.
Okay, so again, I just want to get all the pieces right in my head. And this is the one that's including a monster in it.
This is the ghost one.
The ghost one. Okay.
The other one I was talking about was like someday if I get a big budget, I want to go do a Coast Guard sea monster movie. I think that'd be pretty badass.
Okay, so you're saying okay.
Yeah, no. You'll probably see a lot of Coast Guard stuff come from me because
cool.
I think it's like an untapped.
It
world,
is. It is.
And I mean the things that I was responsible of, I was like, this is crazy that they're letting me do this. But yeah, no, Around Midnight is the one that I'm doing the Indiegogo for in January.
Nice.
I'm setting the goal for 50K, but I'm doing Indiegogo because I've seen a lot of Kickstarters fail lately because times are tough, and so if, I put the goal as 50K and I raise 10, I still get to keep that 10K and put it towards making this film. So it's win-win.
With Kickstarter, if you don't get your goal, it refunds all of it, right?
No, I saw, I don't know his name, but they have a podcast called like Last Podcast on the Left. And they were trying to make a sci-fi film, and I think they asked for like 500K, and they raised like 170, and it all went back to everybody because they didn't hit their goal. And do you want me to go ahead and plug my stuff? Are we wrapping up here?
Yeah. If anything more you want to say about your upcoming projects, I'm here to hear it, dude.
Cool.
I got nothing but time. Oh yeah.
Like I said, it's going to be a small budget, so it's not like, don't expect a Hollywood production, but I'm trying to make something meaningful. So.
Well, I was exactly about to say that the passion behind it is what people, because again, there is a real in your. That's why, in my opinion, why I think podcasts are taking off so much over the last 5 to 6 years is because people are a lot more interested in authenticity and in real passion in a project rather than just, hey, I'm a big company and I made this, come see it. Okay, well, okay, who's behind it? What the blah 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 blah. They care audiences care a lot more about how authentic you're being rather than just the money behind it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not trying to do something safe. I'm definitely trying to do something that goes against the norm. But I know what my limitations are.
Yeah.
Like it's 2 locations. It's like a house and a coffee shop. It's a really cool house too. It's like an $850,000 house we got access to, and there's some cool lore to it too that has to do with like Breaking Bad and stuff like that. So,
well, I mean, dude, another movie you should add to your list. It's a low budget. It's a horror movie. It came out of Mexico. Yeah, came out of Mexico. If you haven't seen it, The Coffee Table.
The Coffee Table.
Have you seen that?
No.
It's on Tubi.
Okay.
You can find it on Tubi. It's a great horror movie, like sick to your stomach horror movie.
Okay.
And it's the only locations are the furniture store where they buy a coffee table, their apartment, and then like a little bit in a grocery store when the wife goes grocery shopping.
I am intrigued.
Dude, like, because I had heard good things about it, like on, like, I forget, I think on Instagram or something, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, we'll watch this one night. And we were watching, like, what's the point? Like, what do we, and then the thing happens, and then I don't want to give...
Yeah, don't say anything. I will... Yeah. Priority.
The thing happens, and it's the last hour is just an anxiety trip. And it is... But it's, again, a great example of low budget, 3 locations, and it's all about the characters. And you just... Even though you know the outcome is probably not going to be great for the main character, you want to see this main character get to the best possible outcome. It is so fun. It's only like
table.
Yeah, it's like hour 20, hour 30.
Nice. Okay, so it's nice and lean.
Yeah,
okay.
Real quick.
Cool.
Bro.
Yeah, I mean the best way I could describe this one around midnight is it's kind of like Hereditary meets Signs in terms of how the scares and signs are very subtle. And practical.
That's a tall hill to climb.
Well, I mean, just like in terms of like tone, it's very focused on family and grief and
Hereditary is. I mean, obviously, there's crazy shit that happens in it, and then at the end, really crazy shit. But it's all tone.
Not going that crazy.
Yeah, it's all tone. And nobody, I don't think anybody was expecting you to.
Yeah, no, but
because that was Ari Aster, right?
Yeah.
Because did you see Beau's Afraid?
Yeah. What a fever dream, man.
Oh my god,
that's a dark comedy. First and foremost,
with the giant testicle ball monster at the end.
Yeah. Did you see Eddington?
Not yet.
If you like westerns, it's a fun western.
That's the one that was shot here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to get.
I auditioned for that one.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I do dabble in acting. You know, I think my social media following helps me get some auditions and stuff. I just got like a good local talent agent, so I'm like that new Pluribus show. Did you check that out yet?
No, but that's the Vince Gilligan, yeah. Yeah, I've heard about it.
He wants to do 4 seasons, so I'm like, fingers crossed. I got an agent here now, so
hell yeah,
we'll see. But
anyway, so back to your projects.
Yeah.
Dark tone, family, grief. I like it.
I mean, I grew up experiencing like family drama, you know. I'm sure everybody does, but like my grandma's from Mexico, so it was just like there was always some drama going on. And so it kind of pulls into that a little bit, you know. I tried to make it relatable. Nice. And I think one of the things about Pollo Loco that I heard a lot was that scene when he finds out by reading the text message that like she's cheating on him. People are like, "Oh, I've been there." And I'm like,
I think every man over the age of 25 has been through that.
Yeah.
We're like, drats.
Yeah. But around midnight. We're supposed to shoot it in April, and we're supposed to shoot for 20 days. So it's going to be like 4 or 5 day weeks. You had a guy on here. I know there's like a local filmmaker, and I listened to a little bit. Yeah, Ben. Yeah. I'd be interested to hear how his project's going. Because when he said that he shot it in 7 days, I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, he... I haven't talked to him in a minute. I don't know where he's at with the actual post-production of it. But yeah, real interesting guy. Real passionate guy.
It's a zombie film, right?
No.
Did I get it wrong?
No, he was making a coming-of-age movie about kids graduating high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you guys were just talking about
because I tried to make a zombie movie when I was a little kid.
Oh, that's right.
And nobody fucking showed up.
I made a zombie movie when I was a kid. So, I think everybody's done that, right?
Well, I meant to say this earlier, but like you're talking about how you used to get your DVDs and go to all the special features. Yeah, that's how I was. And the movie that changed that for me was Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. I went through all the fucking special features and saw how they made the blood squibs and like the zombie makeup, and that's for me, that is one of, if not the best horror remake, period. It is just so fucking. It is just so fucking good. Keeps the spirit of the original, but it's clearly.
Yeah, and I've seen both. The original's really good too.
The original is better.
It's dated, you know, but
yeah, but Romero, his movies were always so low budget and clearly made in the editing room, where it's like we're just gonna get a lot of everything and spice it together, and it is dated. I mean, fucking the opening of it is a bunch of cops breaking into a tenement housing, and every racial slur in the book is getting thrown around.
It's such a great concept though.
Yeah.
Like them being stuck in the mall.
Yeah, it's a beautiful concept.
Yeah.
And they're unfortunately they're knocking down that mall here pretty soon.
Which one?
The Monroeville Mall, wherever it's out in like Wisconsin or whatever.
The one that I thought you were talking about here in Albuquerque.
No.
You're getting rid of a mall?
No, yeah, the one that they shot it in, they're knocking it down, or like they're renovating the inside and killing everything inside of it. And there's like a huge like memorial and like small museum to the movie. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, it's a great concept. And I mean, that's like, obviously Night of the Living Dead is what created the modern zombie, but Dawn of the Dead is what made it like mainstream. Where it's like, oh, this is a fun thing we can all play with, and it's in the American psyche of like what a zombie is and like how do survivors react in a situation. I mean, one of my favorite video games is fucking Dead Rising. I adore that game.
Yeah, and they made a bunch of those too.
Yeah, the last ones weren't so good, but the first one,
but the first one's great.
Banger. But yeah, just I poured through those special features in that movie so fucking much.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's one of the things that's a shame about streaming. I mean, I'm seeing some platforms do have some of the like behind the scenes stuff. Like,
none of them are great though.
My mom was telling me to check out the behind the scenes stuff for Frankenstein. Because the production design and everything's so crazy on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, gone are the days where, like a kid, like I was, could like just open a cabinet and here's all these DVDs. Nobody gets physical media anymore. You know?
That's why I try to collect so much.
Yeah, and
it's a little peculiar, I guess, or just like specific. But I love just taking something off the shelf, popping it, and I mean I use my Xbox. It's got the 4K player, but popping it in the Xbox and all that shit. I love it, dude. Because I think. Let me see if I can open this up without making a giant mess. Because I think this is, because I've been collecting a lot of Arrow recently, and so I got this.
Nice.
I'm very excited to crack this open. For everyone listening, it's The Mask. Finally put this out on 4K.
That is a crazy movie too.
And I fucking adore Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
So this will be a lot of fun to watch. Man. But also that is cool on a shelf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just something to it, and a bunch of special features and shit. Like, yeah, is it cheap? No, I paid like $30 for it, which isn't too bad. But yeah, I love going through all those.
But yeah, here's the thing. Like, I mean, right now, if it was like, oh, I want to watch The Mask, gotta figure out if it's on a streaming service. Right. If it's not, then you gotta freaking rent it or whatever. So sometimes, like, if a movie really matters to you, that's the way to do it, man.
Exactly. It was because obviously you know what the Criterion Collection is, I'm assuming, right? Yeah. So I shop the sale when it comes out.
I hear people like stock up.
Yeah, because they're fucking expensive. They're $50 to $60 or $40 to $60. I don't know about that, but I don't know about that because that's what I like about Arrow too, is because Arrow puts a bunch of extra shit in there.
Yeah.
With most Criterion, it's just a disc, but I got this movie from Criterion called Funny Games. And I
know that one. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Okay. Great movie. But they had like exclusive interviews with the director and with some of the cast that was specifically like released for Criterion. So like getting to watch that and hear the director talk about the movie and how they made it and what all behind the scenes. I mean, that's fucking invaluable if you love that shit.
And I mean, that's the one thing that's a shame about having no budget for this one that we're about to do. I got to put it all on screen, so I don't think we're going to have like a behind-the-scenes crew and stuff like that. Not unless we raise more than we think,
Or you know what? You could really run yourself dry and just vlog that shit yourself, dude.
Oh, man. On top of everything else?
On top of everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of did that during Pollo Loco. You can go watch like my 16. Little vlogs. Yeah, just pounding the G field to try and stay awake, but... Yeah, no, it's I don't know, man. I mean, filmmaking is it's one of those things that I think a lot of people talk about. Like, yeah, I would like to give that a shot, but it's hard, man.
Yeah,
I think people underestimate how much work it is, and especially from a directing standpoint. If you're on set and you don't have a vision, and I think that I prefer to direct my own scripts. I think there's another challenge added directing somebody else's script, unless it's a really good script and you just run with it, right?
Right.
You're like, yeah, but you know, somebody starting out, like Chris Stuckman going from Shelby Oaks, 100% can get his hands on a really good script now.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But yeah, no, if you don't have the vision, you don't know how to answer the questions when there's like 10 people staring at you going, what do we do next? What are we doing about this? What color does the rag need to be?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you better have an answer.
Yeah.
And but I love it, man. I think the stress tolerance from the military like did me well. If that's the one thing I got from it, besides, you know, ruining my knees and getting disability, but yeah.
Well, listen, man. This has been a fascinating conversation. Truly.
Likewise, man.
I'm excited to see what you come up with. I mean, again, the short film is great. People, I mean, all this stuff will be linked in the description, but please go watch it. It's fucking amazing. There's a reason it won a ton of awards.
Thank you,
Go
man.
watch it. Yeah, dude, I'm excited for what you come up with next. And I'd love to have you back on. This is truly
I would love to come back on.
fascinating conversation,
I
dude.
feel like we could talk about movies or Albuquerque forever.
Yeah,
so.
dude, for real.
Yeah.
While a lot of the audience that'll be watching this will be new and already know who you are, for those who don't know how to find you, where can everyone find you on social media? How can they go support you? All that kind of stuff.
I am everywhere as at Danny Dorito 23. I do have some second accounts like on TikTok that's more film focused where I do my reviews and stuff as at Derek J. Bauder.
Sick.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you again, buddy. This has been
Thank
a lot
you,
of fun.
man.
Dude, seriously, you're a
Great
pleasure.
talk.
Yeah, pleasure to talk to. Thank you everyone for listening and watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. That was sick.